playing so good recently.
All right. Hey, what's up, Rabbit Man? Yeah, we're early with the stream this time around. It's because the YoungYakov tournament that starts at 5 p.m. You know, I don't want to overlap with none of that beautiful 2v2 action that he's got going on in his life. All right. I think we're all set up. Life feels good. I'm gonna be... What happened last week? Last week there were too many different tournaments, so I couldn't... There was just no way to do it on the Sunday. I figure I'd just skip 1 week. It happens to the best, you know? It's I know it was the third week, but it was like you had the Moch going on, the maestros of the game, and then the YoungYakov tournament like right after. So it was impossible to find people that wanted to play. Then on top of that, one of my players that was playing, that was in the second match, Gumiho, couldn't make it either. Gumiho, he dropped out. So he gave up his spot. That's why we have 2 new players for the Division B match right now. So today we've got YoungYakov versus MaNa. Oh my god. YoungYakov versus MaNa. We've got Percival versus Skillous for the Category B match. Category A is... let me think. Shin versus ShoWTimE. There we go. God, it's really difficult to think sometimes. Oh, thank you for the 114-month subscription, Luke. You ever think about what you could have done with all that money instead of subscribing to me? Does the thought cross your mind? How much is it in South Africa? Plus tax, probably like $6. $684 that you put straight into my pocket. Well, half of it goes to Bezos. But you get my point. Congrats, Dad. I messaged you when I was expecting my first, and you knows my message today. You get a massive congrats back from me. I appreciate it, Carl. Do you like bitterballen? Which croquettes do you recommend? I only know bitterballen. I'm sad they're not available in Germany. I'm a vegetarian, so I can't eat most of the Dutch snacks. Well, I can eat the vegetarian version, which is often significantly worse. So, my favorite snack when I still ate meat was a frikandel. That's like the long sausage, and I always like the Mexicano as well, which is like a spicy type of sausage. It's quite good. I think Mexicano is usually most liked actually by foreigners. Like North Americans always like the Mexicano, and they don't really like frikandel or croquette as much. Someone has to keep the Bezos yacht running. It's true. The thing doesn't run on itself. Okay, wait. I need to quickly check to make sure everything's okay. Let me see. YoungYakov and MaNa. Channel SRS on PTR at 1300. When do the games start? The games start in 15 minutes, all right? And then we got 3 series. We got a PVZ, a PVT, and another PVZ. And all of that on the new patch. As it stands right now. I honestly... okay, when I set up these matches, I thought there was going to be a new iteration of the patch. Are you still accepting Godfather applications? Well, you're planning on shooting me soon, or is that your way of getting my kid? I am still accepting Godfather applications. I can already tell you're going to be outright denied, Luke. You make terrible financial decisions. You subscribe to my channel for 114 months. How is that for fiscal responsibility? Are you going to cast the YoungYakov tournament? No, there's plenty of casters already. And this is kind of like YoungYakov's thing. I don't want to sweep in there. Especially if you stream before someone else. You have like more viewers when their thing starts. Then people tend to move to like the highest viewer number. So I would take away people from his, which isn't cool. I'll host YoungYakov though after I'm done. Yeah. I think there's enough people. Like if he would be like, we need more people to cast every single game available, I'd obviously help out, but I don't think he needs that. So I'll just sit this one out. Are the games on the beta branch? Yeah, they are. Why was there no live stream last Sunday? Because there were so many tournaments going on. You had Maestros of the Game that started at like 1 p.m. Central European time. And then the YoungYakov 2v2 stuff started at like 5. So it was really difficult for me to find players. I could have placed it somewhere else, but I decided just to skip out a week. Mentally prepare for the next week. So this week is going to be PTR. I hope we're going to get an update on the PTR in the upcoming week. If we don't, I guess I don't know what we're doing. Yeah. Oh, well, who did we ban just now, Luke? What did he say? Oh, he was selling me AI viewers. Why wouldn't I want AI viewers? Wouldn't I just want bots? Isn't it more expensive to get AI viewers? AI viewers, streamboo.com. What's the point of buying stream views? Blizzard making it a 16 worker start this week. I actually heard similar stories. 2 neck size, 16 workers. You heard a shout out from the Warcraft 3 community to you? Oh wow, where did you hear that? I'm a big Warcraft 3 fan. I watch a lot of Warcraft 3 streams. Speaking of 2v2, do you think the game would be better if you can see your allies' resources and units? No. No, I don't think so. I think it would be the same. But I could be wrong. Hey, Lambo King. There's no way. Are you down for some rebelling on the Sunday? Are you feeling particularly rebellious today or no? They're going to change from 8 to 16. Yeah, I heard they're doubling it from the PTR, actually. It's because the way that they patch is very formula-based. So their initial formula was, what? Two-thirds? And then double if it didn't work. So 2/3 to double. So you end up with... What's that? 4/3 of the initial one, which would be 16. Or double 8, 16, you know? So it's cool. Yeah, patches only work in Power of 2. I think that's something that the intern has now found out. So 16 workers. This is what they're gonna do. Zombie Grub made a cool video on the economy of StarCraft 2. Oh, you have to prepare for the 2v2 cup at the moment, sadly. You're not down to rebel today. That's okay. I hope you do well on the 2v2. I didn't watch the Zombie Grub video yet. I watched her do the research for her video. It's actually pretty fun. She's just reading stuff on stream for like 5 hours straight, and then she's fighting with her Twitch chat for another 2 hours, and that for like a week in a row. And I just watched that. I didn't watch all of it, but I watched a decent portion, which I thought was fun. So I think I kind of know what most of it is, but I think it's a good video. Zombie Grub is a prolific writer in the StarCraft 2 scene. Or maybe a prolific writer overall, I don't know. I don't read. It'd be good if they did 16 workers and just 400 minerals for a Nexus hatchery and CC. I think so too. It would be a positive change. Well received for everyone. Okay. Oh boys, we're rank 9 right now. It's terrible. I'm the second highest Protoss on the ladder right now. On the PTR ladder, which is the only ladder that matters, don't forget. I read a book the past few days called The Vegetarian. A book by Han Kang, a Korean writer. The Vegetarian is a 3-part novel set in modern-day Seoul and tells the story of Young Ye, a part-time graphic artist and homemaker. Yeah. I think the person who wrote it, the Han Kang, won the Nobel Prize for the literature. But that's not why I read the book. Someone recommended it to me. It's a short one. It was okay. But obviously the StarCraft 2 economy is broken. It's not about number of workers, but rather economy/macroeconomics. Hi Harstem, say hi to your wife's boyfriend for me. Okay, will do, Frot. Appreciate the shout out. I mean, he will appreciate the shout out, I guess. I think one thing that's interesting about just the entire economy thing, when it comes to people talking about like, oh, the mid game happens too fast because of the early worker start, or the mid game gets skipped. I think the main reason we see kind of a lack of a mid game in StarCraft 2 is due to the map layout. So base 3 and 4 is often easily defendable. If you want a longer mid game, you just make sure that you can take a third and a fourth base. I guess you stay in the kind of the early game longer then. Like you can do that too. Yeah, I don't know. Greetings, Harstems and all Dutchies. Good morning from Spain. Oh, love to hear it. Wings of Liberty map. You know what I'm gonna do? So for the people that don't know, that aren't familiar with my game yet, the Shopify Rebellion Sundays. If this is your first time on a Sunday, welcome aboard. Sundays are great. So I actually have someone made a Liquipedia page, right, which I'm not sure if it shows everything, but it shows like the general concept. Okay, let me Shopify Rebellion Sundays. What do we have here, lads? Ich baue eine Stadt für dich. Oh yeah, look at this. This is the Shopify Rebellion Sundays. So we got 3 divisions. Division A, Division B, Division C. It is a 1v1 best of 5 show match. Winner from a given series gets re-invited the following week. Winning 3 weeks in a row qualifies for a higher division. And winning 3 times in Division A qualifies for a special King of the Hill event. Okay, this is the rule set that we have. Now this was Shopify Rebellion Sundays 1, Division B, Scarlet versus Nico-Racked. Division C, Yakov versus SOS. And then our second week was YoungYakov versus Special, Gumiho versus Scarlet, and ShoWTimE versus Beyond. So the current champions are ShoWTimE, Gumiho, and YoungYakov. YoungYakov has won 2 matches. If he wins a third one today, it means he will qualify for the Division B match. Okay, next week. Now, you could say, because Gumiho beat Scarlet, that Gumiho should be playing today in Division B. However, that is not the case due to Gumiho canceling his participation. He said he couldn't have the time on the Sundays anymore, sadly. So Gumiho has been kicked out. And that is okay, you know. I do not hold this against him. You guys, of course, are allowed to hold it. No, just kidding. Don't hold it against him. That's completely fine. And then in Division A, it is ShoWTimE who's in charge. He is on a 1-game winning streak. Already has $150 secured. And will be taking on Shin today. Now, this is the first time we're taking this proper into the PTR. Last time we did a Shopify Rebellion Sundays, I just hosted some PTR show matches. This time, it is the proper Shopify Rebellion Sundays number 3 PTR edition, okay? Now, the moment we leave the PTR and the patch becomes live, we are once again going to start adding in some freaking crazy maps, because that's kind of the entire point of this, is I wanted to see how much I could influence the way the game plays by changing the maps up significantly. So I have a bunch of maps which are freaking bananas. I have a map that has like lava spawning throughout it. I have well, I didn't make them. Map makers made them. I stole them from them with their permission. It's really a crazy system. The map makers make the maps for free and I can use them. And most of the time they're happy with it as well. It's like the biggest scam in history if you ask me. But don't tell the map makers that. It is chef's kiss for me. Now, What I'm going to do at some point is I'm going to have like a Brood War week or something, where basically I'm just going to get some maps copied straight up one-to-one from Brood War to see what happens if you put a straight Brood War map in StarCraft 2. And I'm sure there's a couple already on the ladder, because you have these Brood War nerds that probably already did it for free. So we're just going to steal those as well, and then we're going to put them in here. It's freaking fantastic. Yeah, it's madness. It really is. And Wings of Liberty maps we could do, but I think Wings of Liberty maps are genuinely bad. And I don't want to use old maps that are bad when we have new maps that are being created by map makers that are cool, creative, and good. So it's... you know, one time we had the Dream Pool. This actually reminds me a bit of this patch, the Dream Pool. In the end of 2014 or the end of 2015, Blizzard decided that for nostalgia's sake, they did a season with old maps. And you could vote on those maps on like the Battle.net forums or something. And people were really excited for the Dream Pool. And after 2 days of playing on the old maps, everyone wanted to get rid of the Dream Pool because it freaking sucked playing on the old maps, because the old maps freaking sucked. People have very strong nostalgia for things that are bad, like lower worker counts and Dream Pools. This stealing business sounds profitable. Dude, the map makers, they love making maps. And then we just play their maps. It's bananas. Yeah. Yeah, actually, it is a crazy concept to me. They just freaking love it. And then, yeah. We take the maps, we play on them. And it's a win-win-win all around. You guys get new maps. I get new maps. We play on the maps that they were making anyway. It's like everyone wins. But the biggest winners are the people that use Shopify as their e-commerce platform. Because that is like printing money, let me tell you. They're being paid in exposure. Yeah, they are. And the thing is, they're usually fond of it, printf. It makes no sense. They freaking love making maps, these guys. There is at some point down the line, when I'm going to start requesting more specific maps, I hope to get a bigger war chest to be capable of playing these people a little bit more. Right now, this is it's not ideal yet, but we'll get it going. I'm hugely fond of the mapmaker community. Dream pools, bad maps, and communism. Exactly what I was thinking of as well. I know it's unrelated, but are you playing in the U-Thermal 2v2 circuit? I played in the U-Thermal 2v2 circuit, I just wasn't good enough to qualify. So I could say here that I don't care about 2v2, but I actually tried my best, and I just didn't succeed, and that's okay. Sometimes in life, you try your best, and you just don't succeed. Do you like Zero Space? I got super addicted to Zero Space in 2024, I think it was. I logged, I'm not proud of this, I logged 180 hours in Zero Space in 2 weeks. in 2024 beta or whatever, dude. I was so addicted. Yeah. I'm very excited for the launch as well. Is Zero Space good? I mean, you can decide it yourself. I liked it. I thought it was very fun to play. The problem back then was that there were just a lot of bugs still and a lot of things that didn't work so well. And I think after Zero Space and Stormgate, I just decided I'm not the guy that likes being part of like an active development phase very much. I just want my game to be done. Because I just get super frustrated by things and it kind of ruins the fun that I could have had, is what I was noticing. So I just prefer, like, I don't know. I'm very excited for their launch, which is coming up soon. I'm going to be playing their campaign as well, which comes out, I think, yesterday or something, or 2 days ago. So I'm super excited for that. But I don't know. You host? Sure, I'll host. So yeah, I'm genuinely excited for it. I hope it's going to do very well. I think everyone hopes it does very well. Like, Zero Space is very likable, I think. They have like the underdog position. You know what I mean? It's like bootstrapped by one dude that just wanted to make sure that they could make an RTS. Spent like all of his disposable income on it that he made making Facebook games. It's like, I don't know. I think it's a good story, you know. I just hope I hope it works out. I really do. Thoughts on Warcraft 3? Yeah, Warcraft 3 is a fantastic game. What the hell? Like, I'm a huge fan of Warcraft 3. I'm a big fan of the big three in general. Brood War, StarCraft 2, and Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3 are my favorite RTSs. I think I like Warcraft 3 more than Brood War, and I like StarCraft 2 more than Warcraft 3. But that is my setup pretty much. Yeah, I'm just a huge fan of it. Good luck, gents. Don't forget YoungYakov. If you win today, you promote to Division B. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially time. It is officially time here to get going with the Shopify Rebellion Sundays. Okay. People often said that Sundays were for the Lord, or that Sundays are for family. These people do not believe in e-commerce in the way that I do. As we all know, that Sundays are for Shopify and making loads of money on the greatest e-commerce platform that has ever existed. Now, today's matches, as always, are sponsored by Shopify Rebellion, the esports division of the Shopify company. And if you want to support them and you say, wow, I love e-commerce, I love StarCraft 2, I want to become a millionaire with minimum effort, yet be good for the world, Shopify is the place to be. You can also go to shopifyrebellion.gg, go to the shop, buy some jerseys, buy multiple sweaters. I actually have gotten loads of pictures from people that say, Harstem, I've received my sweater. I have received my sweater, and it's beautiful, and it's great, and it's sexy, and I love it. Actually, you want to hear something crazy? I was told not to share this story by my superiors, but I'm gonna do it anyway, okay? Because I know all of you would want to hear the insider information. So, I was told by one of the many customers from the sweaters and the shirts. What was I told, you might be asking? This guy told me that he ordered the wrong size on Shopify. Okay? Accidentally just pressed the wrong button. This guy is a large man. Okay? He wanted a large, but he pressed the M button, a medium size. Now, Shopify can do a lot of things for you, but a medium is a medium and a large is a large. These are custom-made sizes for people that are medium or people that are large. We also have the smalls and the extra large, the extra large, of course. Whatever size you are, Shopify has got you covered. But this guy, he selected the wrong size. With any other e-commerce platform, this would be a huge issue. Oh, are you stupid? Wrong size. We're going to throw you off a cliff. Shopify, what do? They send this guy the right size. Free of charge. That is customer service that you just don't see at the other e-commerce platforms, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever heard something ridiculous like, what the hell is going on over here? Ooh, look at that. We're going to open up with a pool first, hatchery over on the third base, triple building wall here coming out of MaNa, okay? Adept coming out. It's going to cancel this core, build a Nexus, and add a Stargate as well. I'm a big fan of what MaNa is showing here. 6 links. So the cool thing about Pool First is that you can always see whether someone wanted to deal damage or just wanted to force a response. You can do 4 links, and then you get the same response out of MaNa here. But because he built 6 links, YoungYakov now has 1 less drone than he ideally would. So it's a bad opener for him. We're going to get a Stargate off of a single gas. Second gas quickly needs to be added, because you need gas in order to pay for stuff. Now, this probe is denying a potential third base. Metabolic boost is on the way here as well, and is about 50 seconds away from finishing up. As MaNa shades in between the third and the natural. Look at that. Probe gets taken out, but the Adept here, the Adept is doing God's work. Poof, puff, bang. Look at that. Stuck here, like a beast. We've got 2 adepts in between the bases now. 6 more lings coming in. Single queen in the main. YoungYakov not entirely ready. Needs to start working towards pulling these workers away, not towards the adepts. What a blunder here. As 2 drones end up falling. Another set of lings is on the way out. And 5 more drones start here as well. First Oracle comes out. Nexus is about to finish up. Don't forget that the Nexus for MaNa was significantly delayed. These adepts continue shading back and forth. Metabolic boost finishing up in 12 seconds from now as another drone is about to die. Oh, these adepts are going to shade in once more. No, they're going to cancel. Evo Chamber is going to block this. We're going to get a recall. Does he get a single adept? No, he does not. MaNa keeps everything alive. First Oracle is out. Recharges it instantly. And now we're going to see some interesting things here. Are we going to go into straight Warp Gate? Or is MaNa's plan going to be for something else here? Perhaps something more air-based. Something more airborne. Is he going to make COVID? That is not possible. This game is not a laboratory, okay? You cannot create that. Oh my god, look at this. I'm gonna have to turn my mouse wheel zoom off because it's driving me bananas again. Okay, second Oracle about to come out. 6 drones. How many links do we have here? 11 links. So, the general, I always mention this because it's good to mention multiple times, again and again and again. If you are watching a ZVP and you're not sure what the worker count should look like, just think to yourself, what happens at the 40 worker mark? If the Zerg player overtakes the Protoss pre-40 workers, it tends to be good for the Zerg, given a 3 base versus 3 base situation, 3 base versus 2.5 base or whatever. If the Zerg takes over the Protoss after the 40 worker mark, it is good for the Protoss. If it is about even at 40, which is what we have here, then it's about even if all other factors are fine. But because this third base is delayed and the queen count is low, I actually genuinely like MaNa's position. I think he has a very good spot. Starts Warp Gate as well. Behind this adept is probably going to end up falling, but a lot of links also go down. And that means now that YoungYakov needs to make a call. Either he adds in more links, or he is not going to add in more links. But he's going to add in more links. So that was really the decision. To ling or not to ling, as Shakespeare once said back in the day. We're going to have 3 oracles here that could potentially fight against these 2 queens. A single transfuse is available. Uh-oh. Someone's playing with fire. And if you play with fire, you can potentially get burned. Unless you're, of course, very capable of playing with fire. Oh. YoungYakov says, I already lost 2 queens for free here. Let me send a third one to die as well. Do you want a 4th here too? No, says MaNa. I'm not that interested in a 4th. 3 is the number of angels, and 4 is a devil's number. I think that's how it works. Ooh, this is a nice little ling run by, though. So, a little bit of trading of damage. And I think this damage mainly is... Ooh, look at this. This is almost going to finish up. 7 probes going down on MaNa's side. 7 probes for, what was it, 3 queens? I don't know whose position I like more. I do know that I don't like playing PvZ on this patch, so... If the position feels a little bit ambiguous, like it does right now, I would almost always much rather be the Zerg player. Triple Oracles are out. Hydra Den is on the way. Roach Warren's on the way as well. So we're going double range stack. This is rare. This usually indicates an all-in. I'm a big fan of all-ins. But the one thing you have to be careful about is dealing with Stormers. Oh, here we go. Lynx once again trying to run in. We'll get a probe kill. As all that MaNa has is 2 Zealots and a Dream. 4th base on the way right now for YoungYakov. 63 workers to 58. Okay. There's no gas mining. I don't know what is going to... I think he should cancel this Roach Warren, if I'm honest. Oh, Ling run by in the natural. MaNa out of position. Completely caught with his pants down. And then naked MaNa is a lot less scary than a MaNa with pants. Absolutely. 5 workers fall. 58 to 72. Okay, it's going to be a Roach Hydra all in. I thought for a second that YoungYakov was planning on going into maybe Hive and Lurkers, but no. Au contraire, my good friends. What's he called? YoungYakov is just going to go for a 76 drone Roach Hydra attack, I think, here. A heavy commitment on Lair, which is of course allowed, eh? Like we're not here to flame him. The Archon drop is trying to deal some damage. It's also there to scout. So I think the moment you see this, you see roaches and hydras in the mix, and you didn't force the roaches yourself by maybe going for a glaive adept attack or going for a zealot attack. I think you can usually fairly reliably say that this is going to be an all-in, but it's not. It's an infestation bit. I do not understand what YoungYakov is doing. Okay, I just don't get it. He is building so many roaches here, which are just a leech, a parasite, a gas parasite. They take away gas that could be going into things like tech, into higher hydra counts. What the hell are we getting roaches for if we're not all-inning? I don't quite understand that. We're even going for an 8 gas. MaNa is adding a second forge as well as a fleet beacon. This to me smells like Mothership, Immortal. Okay, look at this. MaNa has decided that the way to move forward is to not take a fort base, heavily start pumping out Immortals, add cannons into the third, or did I say third? I mean fourth. You didn't take a fort base, and then rush into a mothership here. I actually kind of like what MaNa is doing, because YoungYakov is teching so damn slow. Like if YoungYakov has slightly faster tech, I would maybe be a bit worried. YoungYakov, however, doesn't have very fast tech. YoungYakov has extraordinarily slow tech due to this high roach count. So I think maybe this is like a fort breaker build, except there's no fort base. We're now going to get Overlord speed. At 5th base, we have the triple oracles. They're going to target down a queen. Royalty assassination. Second Evo chamber on the way. Lurker then coming out. Here we go. YoungYakov is going to attack into a 3-base Protoss that has cannons and storm. I think in most people's minds, this would be considered a mistake. But as usual, the majority is wrong. Actually, no, I don't think they are wrong. This is good control out of MaNa, by the way. Immortals in the front, Storms in the back to kind of zone out this army. Single Hydra could still get murdered. Triple Oracles are trying to get back home as a Prism gets sent out on the map. We have the... Ooh, what was that? Was that a drone cancel? What was that? What did he do there? He cancelled 50 mineral units. So either links or drones. Melee, Adrenal Glands, Lurkers. I mean, I'm not saying that this should have hit like a minute ago had he not built the 30 roaches, but this should have hit a minute ago had he not built the 30 roaches. One Templar's gonna get sniped here. Mothership on the way out. Nidus network added into the mix here too, as these zealots are gonna make their way across to the 5th. Now the Roach Hydra Forge is nearby to deal with that, but MaNa pulls back. MaNa pulls out with the zealots, and this 5th base will not be impregnated. Hydras get taken out. YoungYakov is kind of doing some dirty dancing here at the front. Overseer is going to make its way into the main base. Let's go into first-person view here of MaNa. See what our boy is up to. He needs to know what's going on in the main right now. I see a unit patrolling there, by the way. Oh, that's a Stalker. That's kind of cute, actually. I dig that. Gonna go for a Roach Hydra attack towards the right. Did not catch this Prism. So in my mind, the play here is... Actually, what is the play? What is the play right now? Are we going for a straight-up attack or Nidus first? Okay, this is a Nidus first approach. Look at that. That is interesting because it... I think it's a fake Nidus. No, it's not. It's a real one. And it's not going to go off. Nidus first approach, it shows a certain... How would I call it? Lack of respect for the opponent. Because nothing is going on. So all the opponent needs to do is look at the minimap every 7 seconds or so. If your opponent doesn't do that, it could be an issue. Here, this was not a Nidus first approach, because this one might actually go up. Because we have a little bit of a fighter in the middle. MaNa's walking into those lurkers. We have a 5 zealot warp in. It's going to catch this Nidus. Nothing comes out. As the immortal count here right now is at 7. We have 1 Tempest, a new Nidus worm on the right. We're 10 gas versus 6 gas right now. 2 lurkers that got caught in the stasis from earlier are now behind actually dealing damage and being quite annoying. More lurkers moving further forward. Immortals trying their best to deal some damage. These instead of zoning storms, but you really want to kill these lurkers ASAP. As these spines are dealing a lot of damage. Just a single storm remaining right now in this mix. So a high number of links could be very annoying to deal with. Here come the links from the side. Hydra streaming in as well. As these immortals seem to be getting cleared. Zealot warping comes a little bit too late. And there's really not a whole lot that MaNa did in that fight that helped his position in this game. Now we have 5 lurkers here on the right side. I'm not entirely sure about this, boss. YoungYakov says, I am fairly certain about this. I think this is good. It's alright. Zealots now dealing with these lurkers because they're completely unprotected. Lynx on the left getting taken out as well. YoungYakov with a vast overestimation of his forces. It only takes 7 storms to kill a mothership. Full duration storm? Yeah, I mean, it is technically possible. I haven't seen it yet, but, you know, some days gotta be the first time it happens. Okay, we're going into 8 gases. This 5th base is a distraction, I think. As YoungYakov has been losing battles, down about 3k in resources lost. Needs to start taking some better fights. And I think he's been getting a little bit too fancy as well. It's been a serious issue. +3 missile attacks is about to finish up. We have these 3 lurkers coming in. MaNa playing a very patient game as the Zealots now move out. Bottom base is vulnerable. 3rd base definitely vulnerable. So we have 3-1 upgrades. Ooh, there goes the Spire. That could be problematic, because the only way to deal with Tempest is by using Corruptors. As indeed the Spire goes down, we're going to go double Spire. It says you killed 1, 2 new ones pop up. That's crazy. That is crazy. You take out 1 and 2 new ones come out. Like growing potatoes, but extremely different. Well, these Nidus worms are going to get taken out, as we also have 2 Nidus networks, occupied by about 5 lurkers. Nanomuscular swell. Also known as the Hydra Dash. Tectonic destabilizers. And a 7th base, is that correct? Yes, that's correct. Alright, MaNa wants to make a play. Let's take a look at how solid he actually is set up. He has very little cannons here. He has nothing over here. Hardly any cannons on this base. So a backdoor here would be very, very painful. We have a single Viper that is here to pull Tempest in forward. One wonders why YoungYakov doesn't just build more Vipers. As this Knight is now finished up. That means the end of this 5th base, by the way. The end of the 5th base or the end of this attack. And MaNa needs to make a call at this point. I personally would prefer going back home and setting up shop properly. MaNa is going to commit into this. And Yakov immediately sends it. I think this is a very good call. This doesn't work if there's 12 cannons and 2 Templar here, but there's only 2 cannons and 2 Templar here. So it's a very different type of situation. It's all going to be about speed. Speed of killing bases and killing drones as well, which is going to be important because there's plenty of bases here for YoungYakov. He's building 11 Corruptors. He's going to start running into the 4th, into the 3rd at the same time. We have 1 storm that is about to come online. Lurkers on the left will kill this base. Lurkers down here will kill this. So it's MaNa guaranteed is to go down to 3 bases. Can he hold his 3rd is the question, because this is his last real bastion of mining. I mean, there's a couple of minerals left over here in the net, but that party is about to end as well. So these bases are going down. Corruptors have been constructed. We have 9 Corruptors against 7 Tempest and 1 Mothership. Nidus comes down here. I don't know if this is an escape Nidus, like an escape hatch, or if this is a Nidus that is... well, I don't know what it was for. He got murdered, so it doesn't matter. Freaking destroyed. Okay, MaNa is a weird split. I think actually what MaNa needs to do right now, there's 2 things he can do. He can either go back home, or he can recall this army aggressively. I think an aggressive recall of this army is actually a pretty cool play. And then using Tempest reinforcements to hold your natural. I think sending this across the map by itself might be scary, as... I do like MaNa's position here. We're going to get a big storm onto the Lurker Hydra. Main base has been completely compromised at this point. You can't look at this main base and think to yourself, that's a good place to be for a drone. These guys are like, boys, where's our Nidus? I know we have one. I've heard it before. Actually, there's only a worm remaining at this point. No escape hatch here for the drones, as they die doing what they love most. Mining nuclear waste from a toxic extractor. Ah, the days. I think we have a Spire that just finished up, but sadly we don't have a lot of cash anymore. So build a Spire for a single Corruptor. Okay, here comes a Hydra Dash. Here comes a Corruptor Death. Yes, the Corruptors die. I mean, it's not great. YoungYakov, by the way, has more income, significantly more income, and also significantly more workers. So this really is a case of MaNa has a bigger army, but he won't have a bigger army for long. We're gonna get a recall as the armies get together and they re-emerge as a stronger army. You know, StarCraft 2 is not a zero-sum game where, you know, one army plus another army is now two armies. You know, they strengthen each other in other ways. It snowballs often. So if you put these two halves together, they become more than one. They become 1.5, for example. Crazy how that works. Can we get a Zealot run by towards the bottom side, maybe? I would love it. I just don't think MaNa is aware of it. Ooh, we get a flank. So, one major problem here could be the High Templar count. If the High Templar end up dying, that would be catastrophic. Do we still have a Templar Archives? Yeah, there's still a Templar Archives, but the gas income is just not very good. We have 2 assimilators going at it right now. This base is being attacked by a single Zealot. That's okay. I don't actually think you care about that base, do you? You still have like mining on the bottom. The bottom right base is the real key. That's the key player. And this is an expensive distraction here for YoungYakov. If he gets caught out of position, I wouldn't want to be him. This stasis is big as well, by the way. We're going to get an army split. Interesting army split as well. Templar are kind of lost as to what to do. We're going to go back here into the natural. Look at this. YoungYakov is just expanding to the bottom. Now, Microbial Shroud doesn't need to be researched, so it's available immediately. And I think that's what these infestors are for. However, Microbial against Storm isn't necessarily a great counter. It doesn't lower the damage of Storm. We're expanding towards the bottom right, and Overseer is going to show up. Oracle is going to catch these... Whoa, Corruptors, are they? I think you commit. No, he doesn't. Oh, he should maybe commit to something at least. Here we go. He's going to commit to the left side. Templar gets taken out before it gets to do anything. We're going to get a snipe here on the Mothership, which would be a pretty big deal. Mothership is a key unit here, as a lot of the Templars also end up falling. YoungYakov with a good start of the fight, but can his weak army finish it? He has so much cash in the bank. He just doesn't have the larva available. Does he have the tech buildings? No! Look at this! YoungYakov forgot about teching, and I guess about larva. All he can build right now is links and links and links. He's going to add another spire. As his lair just finished up, he's probably going to need to build just a Hydra then as well. To just refill what has been lost. Links are going to be a key unit, in my opinion. And that key unit needs to move around and go for base trades. And kills on the side. Because you cannot fight straight up with this army. So base trades with lurker defenses are really the only thing we can do. Kind of reliably here in my mind. Oh, he's going to actually catch a lot of these Archons. That is great news. As he caught, I think, 3 Archons there. Lurkers need to move back immediately. More Lings are on the way, 14 of them. We have a bunch of Corruptors still out, wanting to snipe those Tempest. Hydra then finishes up. What is our larva count? We're at 4. So that's not a whole lot. Single Lurker on the top side. Lots of Corruptors out here. This is quite an interesting game. 6 Hydras coming out right now. MaNa, I think, should realize right now, yep, there's something here on the bottom right. Drones are going to escape. Beautiful timing here out of YoungYakov, who does not have more income anymore, but has more cash than his opponent at this point. He's going to get 9 Corruptors out. The single Lurker is still here. We have an Observer making its way over. 2 Zealots and a Dream. Might just end up working. Nexus, I don't know what the hell that is, but it's not the correct location. This is the last mining base, the last bastion of hope here for YoungYakov. And it dies. And that means that MaNa now is in a position where if he doesn't lose this army, he wins the game. If he doesn't lose this army, he wins the game. But there's 16 Corruptors out. We have 6 Tempest. Oh, here we go. Big attack onto this army. Corruptors coming in from the north. Everything coming in from the north. As the Tempest are going to get sniped here. Archon count not very high. Hydra Lurker stays alive. Do we have links behind this? No, we don't. The Corruptors do their job. Oh, an Overseer here would be huge. An Overseer here would have won the game. Well, wouldn't have won. Well, maybe it would. There's no anti-air. And then the Lurkers would at least be capable of defending. GG gets called as MaNa wins game number 1 here after 23 minutes on the Old Republic Ladder Edition. What an epic first game. actually a good one. It's rare to see a PvZ late game that is somewhat attractive. We actually managed to get it. So I'm happy with that. Second map is going to be 10,000 feet. Lobby link. I read a rumor that YoungYakov has an anime mousepad. Is that true? I have heard that rumor as well. Now, in a world where e-commerce doesn't exist, I'd say, you know, maybe he got this anime mousepad for his birthday from his grandma, you know, and it's the only mousepad that he can get because his local shop is run by a massive weeb. But in a world of e-commerce, where starting your own online store and sourcing the products and directly talking with the manufacturers is so simple because of Shopify, I think there's really no excuse to have an anime mousepad, personally. But that is just my opinion. That is just my opinion. 400 APM is wild already, yeah. If you could add 1 unit to each race in the next patch, what would that be? That's an interesting question. That is an interesting question. I think something you could do is look at how units have been implemented in StarCraft EVO. I actually think that the intern should take a hard look at StarCraft Evolution, because these guys that are balancing StarCraft EVO are actually doing a really good job at having 6 different races being somewhat decently balanced. And it requires an insanely active balance team. And they're good at it. I don't know what to tell you guys. So you could just look at anything they have. You could pretty much just straight up port it into the game. Just steal what they have already made. Oh, look at that. A trick here by YoungYakov. A nasty trick. A disgusting trick, even. A trick that might be remembered for years to come. We're going to go for a hatch proxy. So this is a hatch at home and a hatch on the other side. Ooh, look at that. A forge. MaNa knows. Uh-oh. MaNa knows about the Cannon Rush special. However, what the hell do you do against a hatchery that's now on your natural? And the Cannon Rush special is without the gas. So the way I know it. The way I've been taught by my forefathers. And my forefathers before my forefathers. Is this a... I think you pull drones here, buddy. Just 2. 2 drones and you win the game. Oi, 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 oi. Oh! 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 Can you just walk in here? Oh my good lord. Chaos pain. And more chaos and pain. As YoungYakov here is mounting one hell of a defense. Cannon gets built at home right now, but this is chaos. Chaos in despair on MaNa's side, as he's forced to cancel both of these cannons. He has a main building structure on his own natural base, which people can look at and say, hey, that does not look nice for me. He's going to have to build a cannon to deal with it. He's full walling. He's going to check out to see what's happening over here, make sure that he's not being all in, but I feel like being all in is the least of his worries. He's so far behind right now. He's going to have to deal with this. He is going to have to deal with this. Ooh. Nexus? Oh. I mean, even if he gets his... Imagine we get a world in which he gets his Nexus out, right? Does he get follow-up tech first? Because he's playing double gas? It feels weird not to build a Stargate first. Because otherwise he's just going to be floating gas like a madman. He loses this pylon. Already rebuild it here. 6 links coming out as well as a queen. Oh, YoungYakov realized what's happening. He says, hey. Hey, little buddy. What are you doing? Well... You might have wanted to wait until you had a couple more links here, YoungYakov. And he's a Zerg player. Math is not his strongest suit. He's still outmining his opponent, by the way. Queen is about to pop. Now you probably want to go in with the links. He's not doing that. I guess he's busy dealing with this. As the queen here is being targeted down, but will survive for now. If a creep tumor goes down, this is game, set, and match. GG gets called as YoungYakov wins game number 2 here on 10,000 feet with a beautiful proxy hatch build. You love to see it. Also, thanks for these subscriptions, Andy No and Doom Marine. Hi, Captain. Hope you're doing great. Facebook games is where the real money is at. You've never seen real income till you've seen 65-year-olds drop their life savings on Farmville. That's what I thought as well back in the day. But then I started my own Shopify store, and now the money is streaming in like hot buns at a well-run bakery. Third winter. Winter madness. Look at that. That was a very mediocrely executed cannon rush. It felt like he didn't know where to put the cannons. And it's not to talk crap about MaNa. I would never personally. But gotta be careful. Ooh, YoungYakov has elected not to join the lobby. Please. Join. I will have to disqualify you if you stop playing now. 1-1 isn't good enough. Yeah, it's Zerg players, you really have to tell them everything. They are often confused in many situations. They're only used to pressing buttons. Zergs remind me... Have you guys ever seen that video of the monkey? You have like a, I think it's a gorilla, and the gorilla is like in front of a screen, and very quickly, like numbers in rapid succession show up, like 1 to 12 or so. And a gorilla looks, and then he presses the numbers, like his memory of where they are, and like the order on like the square that corresponds with where the number popped up is freaking crazy. That kind of reminds me of Zerg players. Like, you would look at that gorilla and think, that's pretty freaking smart. But then you try to have a conversation with the gorilla, and he tears your arm off. And start smacking you around like you're a plant, you know? It is bananas. Bananas. That was a good one because we're talking about monkeys. But yeah, that's kind of what it is, like interacting with Zerg players. Like you see them do something like press the buttons really fast and you ascribe a certain level of intelligence to them. And then you have 1 or 2 conversations and you know that the intelligence must have been faked. Have you never seen the video, Smallhead? With the gorillas. It is such a... Just Google gorilla presses numbers on the screen or something. It is insane. It might be a chimpanzee though. It's like it's a video from like the 70s or the 80s, I think. Back when experiments with monkeys are much more common. Like all the good like gorilla or chimpanzee like experiments are all done in I think like the 70s and the 80s. Like when they introduce like currency and they try to help them speak. I read a book on this one. It's called Nim Chimpsky. And you had these guys that truly believed that you could teach, I think it was gorillas speech. And what they did is they took like a baby gorilla and they put this baby gorilla. Is he gonna forge? He's gonna do the same thing. But he's trying to hide it. Oh! It's not gonna work. And you have this gorilla and they raise him together with like a baby boy. So they think that if you raise them both like a child, like a human child, then the gorilla will start speaking as well. And you had this kid, I think it was called Donald. And at 2-year-olds, rather than the gorilla starting to sound like the human started being more like the gorilla. So he would only make grunting noises. Dude, that's a crazy experiment to put your own kid in, no? At least that's what I thought. I personally wouldn't do that. I would not raise my 2-year-old with a gorilla. But then again, I don't have a 2-year-old yet, so what do I know? Okay, MaNa is going to go for the cannon rush here, so it's a repeat of moves, but this time the moves are being executed a little bit better. We're going to get a cannon in the back here as well, which is interesting. If this probe dies, MaNa is in trouble. Actually, YoungYakov is doing this beautifully. I think YoungYakov wins this. Because the cannon can't go up until this cannon is up. Links are going to be out. Queen is going to be out. Like, this party has ended. Like, MaNa wants to keep dancing until the music stops, but MaNa is deaf. The music has stopped a long time ago. He just doesn't hear it. And he's just on the dance floor by himself right now. MaNa, they're closing this place down. Get out of here. Oh no. Pure chaos here in the early game, as after a fantastic first game, MaNa is going to lose with another failed cannon rush attempt here on Winter Madness. Not managing to capture the lightning in a bottle that other Protoss content creators have with this cannon rush follow-up. Harstem, for example, has a phenomenal cannon rush that he often executes at the highest level against Zerg players, etching out good positions in most games. Potentially still throwing these good positions, but definitely edging out good positions. We're gonna get an Adept out right now. So the Adept is going to be capable of maybe dealing some damage. The problem is YoungYakov is going to be on 28 workers. YoungYakov is not going to take any... He's going to have a spine. So you put the spine in the front. Like, all YoungYakov needs to do is put the spine at the front, and any type of Adept harass immediately becomes illegal. Okay? And you know what they say about illegal Adepts? Okay? Don't want that. You don't want that as a Protoss player, let me tell you. So MaNa here, he realizes what's going on, and he wants to commit hard right now. And he wants to commit in this moment. Spine needs to move. I don't understand why YoungYakov isn't moving. Second Queen needs to go into the main base. YoungYakov with some poor instincts here as to what needs to happen. Did manage to sneak by an extra one. An extra drone to build a third. This Spine needs to go here, man. Then you can do double Queen in the main. You don't need any extra links, because links can just chase. You can never go into the natural. Like, life's gonna be so simple. Oh, MaNa wants to get this creep tumor. He gets the tumor, but loses an Adept, which is a bad trade. Ay, 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 ay. Stargate's coming out. 34 works to 32. I think YoungYakov here is preparing for the Queen Walk, by the way. We see heavy gas investment out of our good friend YoungYakov. It could also be going for Lair and maybe like Hydras. And then if you stay on 4 Queens, I don't mind it either. But working on is phenomenal. Third base hasn't started yet for MaNa. MaNa now is getting Warp Gate. Like, just taking the third is going to be a hassle already. You're going to need an Oracle. Oh, he's going to build a Void Ray. A Queen Walk is... I don't know about this, lads. You know that? I don't know about this. Oh, one Adept goes down. Because it's only 4 Queens, and one of them is damaged goods. Okay? This is not the type of Queen you want to be having in your army. Damaged goods, I tell you. You have a 5th Queen now. So, the thing here is, if you get enough air units... Imagine you get 4 air units and you kill all Queens. You hold the push. You hold the push, you win the game. Those are the rules. The rules of engagement. And I'm not talking about marriage engagement. I'm talking about fighting. Queens are going to get spotted here. And as a result, we're instantly going to go into air weapons level 1. A cancel on the warp gate. Batteries need to be added. Hello? I don't think MaNa actually saw it. Oh no. Chaos, pain, and more here at 5 o'clock. As YoungYakov walks over, snatches the life away from that poor Adept. As Yakov sets himself up for a major victory here. 2-1. In favor of our up-and-coming Zerg player. Now, that is interesting. For the people that haven't been following the Shopify Rebellion Sundays, for whatever reason, maybe you don't love e-commerce as much as I do. That is completely fair, you know? I'm here to enthusiast you about it. I'm not just here to tell you e-commerce is the best thing that has ever hit the, you know, this beautiful God's green earth. No. I'm here to convince you of it. Over a period of multiple weeks. But if it's your first time, YoungYakov has won his last 2 series, which means if he wins this week, he is going to get promoted to Division B. And will be taking on the winner of Skillous and Percival, which is going to be the second match of the day, by the way. Let me quickly message 1 minute. Percival and I'm quickly messaging Percival and Skillous. And YoungYakov. Oh, Percival's watching. Look at that. And what's the other guy called? Skillous. Game 4 starts now. 2-1 in favor of YoungYakov. All right. 99% of cannon rushers stop just before they win. Big. MaNa has to try it again. Is that so? I feel like you can say a lot about cannon rushers, but these are people that are extraordinarily persistent. Actually, more persistent, I think, even than the average gambler. The cannon rusher, I'm not sure if the cannon rushers believe that they also, you know, have a system, though. You know how, I don't know if any of you have ever been in a casino. I bet a lot of you have, because most of you are a bit older. And at some point, you're going to find yourself in a casino one way or the other. I remember the first time I went to a casino. Actually, the first time I went to a casino, we bought like a starter package, me and my friend together. We split it, 35 euros. And we walked out with like 60 or 80 euros. So we won big. Like that entire night was free. Back when beer still cost like €1.50. The golden days, like 2012, 2014. I don't know. Either way, back then, epic. Then the second time, and it was a fun time. The second time I went to a casino in Poland and I saw a guy just bouncing in between tables and he would like look at the numbers that had just been played. And then if he liked the numbers, he would always put like a certain system of like chips on the roulette thing. Like he had like squares or something. And then when he would hit it, he would say the system works. And I don't understand what he said when he would lose, but he wasn't happy most of the time. I wonder if cannon rushers feel the same, you know? We know that cannon rushing long term, you know, leads to bad consequences. The house always wins. But I think cannon rushers, they've managed to delude themselves into believing that, you know, there's a certain skill to them. Like, I have a system, I know the positions on the map. Like, if I just had slightly better probe micro, maybe I would have gotten it, you know? I'm not saying that cannon rushers are gamblers, because gamblers sometimes win. And I think cannon rushers, it always feels close, you know? That is what gets you. Now you see the little ball spin in the middle. You're like, oh, that's exciting. I often say when I do coaching that persistence is the most valuable skill a cannon rusher can have. That's also what they tell the professional gamblers, Printf. Did you know that? You'll never expect it a third time. I legit think that cannon rushing against hedge first is good. And now, because I was yapping so much, I didn't even see what the first game or the opener was here. I'm too unfamiliar with builds, but this looks like a hedge first on third base location. Okay, Nexus comes out. 9 out of 10 cannon rushers quit before beating Cyril once on the ladder. Cyril actually has been historically quite afraid of cannon rushes. There used to be a Ukrainian pros player, well, he just doesn't play anymore, called Hellraiser. And he had quite nasty cannon rushes often. And whenever Cyril would play against Hellraiser in tournaments, he would always respect him enough to play pool first. Which I always thought was like... I don't think there's a lot of other people that Cyril did that for, where he would change his entire early game in order to deal with one particular build. Maybe against like some lower level Terrans, he would play pool first in case they would 2 or 3 wrecks though. I'm not entirely certain. Ooh, we're gonna get a 4-ling run by here. MaNa not entirely ready for it. Is going to end up losing 1 probe. Ooh, no, Adept. Mr. Adept, we need to go back. What are we doing here, little buddy? Uh-oh. Ling goes down. And at this point, you just fully commit onto probe. So we're going to get three probes down. Adept on the other side dies as well. Chaos Pain. Oh, no. I almost sends it back. And we still have a bunch of links out, by the way. Like, this party hasn't ended yet. And it is not a party that MaNa is very happy about. Link speed is extraordinarily fast. You can kill the Adept or you can run past it to go for probes here. I think both of these are fine calls. He's going to go for the Adept first. 2 links in the back not helping out. Adept gets microed very well here. But MaNa in a world of trouble. As, Links are going ham and are going to get 3 worker kills here. Maybe 1 more in the natural is a possibility. Lots of worker time lost as well. Lots of mining time lost. Overlord is going to die, but look at that. YoungYakov here, with the anticipation of what was about to happen, has already created multiple new Overlords to make up for the deficit. Double gases coming out of MaNa as he opens up with air weapons as well. And we're going to be going into a sky toss game. MaNa has given up on making this a standard one. He needs an Adept in the wall, by the way. 6 links running in could be detrimental here for his chances. Now, something that's interesting, by the way, is that previously this type of build would actually be significantly better. Because seeing research on the cybernetics core, seeing this thing spin, could mean both Warp Gate and +1 air weapons. But due to the Warp Gate being moved onto the gateway, double Stargate openers have gotten significantly worse because they're so much easier to spot. The moment you see anything spinning here, it's either going to be armor upgrades or it's going to be weapon upgrades for the Void Rays. So that is what it is. And he's also going to get Warp Gate at the same time. Okay. He just has no units. So any amount of links that run into the natural will just end the game. This is a significant risk to take. And I think MaNa is taking this willingly. Here comes a double void. Evo chamber comes out. Now there's a couple of things that YoungYakov can do. He can go for like a Hydra push, theoretically. I think it's going to be a Spire. I'd be surprised to see a Hydra then. I am surprised. I am very surprised here. 10 drones. So he wants to kill this Hydra. It is possible, by the way. Like, I'm not saying this is a terrible call. I just had expected Corruptor, maybe. Corruptor, Roach, Queen. Something of the sort. But instead it's going to be Hydra Queen. Hydra Link Queen. High worker count already here for YoungYakov. Who is on the road to greatness, may I say. May I say? Yes, I may. On the road to greatness. As he's going to be the first ever player in the Shopify Rebellion Sundays, if this game continues like it is right now, to promote a division from Division C to Division B. That means a doubling in payout as well. Oh, but before that happens though, he needs to deal with these voids. +1 air weapons is about to finish up as well. Hydras are going to come out relatively soon. MaNa's going to see that as a bunch of drones now are going down. And oh, 1 Hydra falls, but so does a Void Ray. Another Hydra goes down and a drone. Well, 2 drones, 2 Hydras and a Void Ray die. I think YoungYakov is going to be okay with that. I guess he also lost a Spore and a Queen, though. Still, YoungYakov in a good spot. Tempest now on the way. We're going to get Overlord speed as well. So YoungYakov is putting a lot of eggs in this one basket. I think it is a sturdy basket, though. Okay? A well-woven basket. Not many people know this about YoungYakov, but in his free time, when he's not a professional StarCraft 2 player, phenomenal basket weaver. One of the best. He is the he actually weaves baskets for Louis Vuitton. So whenever you see like these high-level brands with nice baskets, that is usually YoungYakov. Yakov is actually killing this Nexus. Ooh, look at that. A hidden Nexus here for MaNa. As well as an assassination attempt here on the Monarchy. A Queen goes down. Luckily there's a backup Queen. Lair's gonna get taken out. Some transfuses on the Lair. Oh. There goes the Void Ray. Completely blasted. Taken out. The way that Void Ray should be taken out. Double Tempest are out on the map as well. Not quite capable of 2 volleying these Hydras as Tempest 1 will fall. I don't think you can save that anymore. That is frustrating. 4 Voids are still active. Maybe looking for some damage. Gonna get an Extractor kill. Spire's about to finish up. +2 air weapons on the way. YoungYakov in a significant lead. A very significant lead even. One of the most significant leads that I've seen in a while. And let's see what that means here. Oh, the snipe on the Lair once more. People often ask me, Harstem, what is the best way to kill a Lair? And I always say fly in 3 or 4 times. With 4 Void Rays. And my boy, you're gonna do it. No! I don't know if YoungYakov saw it. I think he did. Yep, there we go. He's gonna catch this base and that is going to be it here for this game. Ladies and gentlemen, our first Protoss has fallen. We have 3 tosses today. Is there a chance that we're gonna see a win in one of these 3 series for TOS. I am not certain. I am not certain about this. What I do know is that YoungYakov is going to be promoted to Division B here next week in the Shopify Rebellion Sundays. I feel like we should have like an extra gift for people that get the promotion, you know? I actually give him a 15% discount code for the Shopify Rebellion shop. So he can get himself some nice Shopify Rebellion swag with the cash that he wants. If you're thinking to yourself, damn, I wish I had any amount of discount code. Code SR Harstem on ShopifyRebellion.gg gets you 10% off on all of the Shopify Rebellion swag. That is a crazy amount of discount that I just managed for you there. Long negotiation. But Shopify says, you know what? Our e-commerce platform is so successful, we can miss those 10% of profit. Crazy stuff. YoungYakov wins the series 3-1. As we're now be heading into our second match. Whew. Okay, I'll message Skillous. Channel. Are we definitely promoting e-commerce this tournament and not e-commerce merch? Just wondered if you read the brief. No, the brief says e-commerce merch, but I think it's disgenuine if all I do is just promote the merchandise that the Shopify Rebellion team has, while I'm so passionate about the e-commerce platform in general. So I add it in for free, you know? Well, I mean, not really for free. They pay me, but you get my point. It's added in for free. It wasn't in the brief. We just make it up as we go. They've seen sales skyrocket as well. Let's see what happened with the stock, the Shopify stock, since the Shopify Rebellion started. So it's been, what, like a month? 11%. 11% up. Shopify stock since Shopify Rebellion Sunday started. Freaking crazy. The impact that a couple $100 has a week is ridiculous. Absurd. Is there a bracket somewhere? No, this is a gate-capped event. So I noticed that nowadays life is a little bit too easy for people. You know? You need new shoes, you just buy them online. You want information, you ask your large language model. And if you want to know tournament information, you just go to the bracket. We will continue the traditional spoken word here on the Shopify Rebellion Sundays. The only way to get information is mouth to mouth. And by listening to my poetry recitals on the Monday night. But that's offline in my local town hall. So not a lot of people have showed up for that yet. If you take the first letter of every sentence that I start in my poems, you'll get information when the next tournament is going to be. It's like little Easter eggs. I saw Taylor Swift doing stuff like this, and she's wildly popular. So I figured I'd copy it as well. Protos can't afford shoes? I bought 10 billion in stock just because of Harstem, actually. You love to hear it. Are you finding any games on the PTR? We create our own games on the PTR, sort of. What do you mean finding games? But there's actually no bracket anywhere. Let me see if the bracket for the third one has been made. The problem is they haven't accepted my calendar event that I set up this morning, an hour before the tournament. Yeah, Wikipedia is slacking, let me tell you. Alright. I'll host. Wait, I need to flip a coin. For server preference, I flip a coin. Skillous, Percival, heads or tails? I don't have any coin on me. Heads? Okay. You see that? Okay, munt. Why can't I just put this in English? Okay, munt is tails. Kop is head. Kop. So that's heads. Percival picked heads. So he gets server preference, which means west central, west central, west central, west. Well done, Percival. A true gambler. Did you guys know that casinos are banned in Korea? Oh crap, I accidentally invited MaNa. Oh no, sorry. They're not even allowed to gamble. I can't remember if it's with this as well, but I think even as a Korean, maybe even if you gamble in a different country, you can get prosecuted for it. But I'm not sure if that's with gambling or just with... I know if you smoke weed in a different country and they find out, they don't enjoy that because you have like a good citizen duty or something like that. Too much whiny Reddit Terran in the latent features? I don't even know what the word latent means. Every Saturday night I dream of e-commerce and the greatness of Shopify. The only thing that eclipses that exceptional feeling is the rush I get when I wake and I know that the Shopify Rebellion Sundays are just hours away. I have the same dream. Every Saturday night. Actually, I struggle a little bit falling asleep on the Saturdays these days because I'm so damn excited for the Shopify Rebellion Sundays. You know how some events have like a huge tradition? You know, like, have you guys ever heard of the Ashes? The Ashes is a cricket match. Cricket is like a lame version of baseball, which is hard to imagine because baseball is already the lame version of baseball. But either way, cricket, the lame version of baseball. And the Ashes, I think, is a match they do either every year, or every 2 years, or every 4 years, where Australia fights against England. And then the winner gets to take home the Ashes that have been... I don't know what the Ashes are. I don't think it's the ashes of a person. Maybe it's the ashes of like some queen or something? The most recent monarch that died. And then you have it like... No, I don't think that's actually what... I don't know what you get. I think you get a big cup. You know, it's like the Stanley Cup, but different. Either way, that's a real institution, right? The Ashes. I feel like that within the period that we started the Shopify Rebellion Sundays have kind of turned into something like that for StarCraft 2 as well. It is a strong tradition that people, you know, they want to be a part of. Like a StarCraft tradition. It's very, very, very powerful. I get a lot of messages as well. It's like people that didn't even know anything about e-commerce or StarCraft 2 that now wear like t-shirts that say I love e-commerce or Shopify is my daddy, like that type of stuff. Shopify is my daddy, StarCraft is my mom, and Harstem is e-commerce Jesus. Shirts available in the store soon. All right. Let's see what we have here. We have a Protoss versus Terran on 10,000 feet. Now, there are different opinions on what is the right thing to do in Protoss versus Terran. I do not know what the correct play is, but Skillous opens up with a no scout, risky, into an adept, less risky. Percival opened up with a gas first, risky, into Reaper, factory, low ground CC, risky. I think there might be some attacks that could potentially kill this. And as a result, we see the Reaper just kind of roaming around. It's going to be a double Reaper here even. It is not going to be a double Reaper. I'm not sure if Percival knows exactly what he wants to be doing quite yet. A second Reaper. We were right after all. And he's going to go into a Hellion here as well as he cuts out a worker from this build. And our good friend Skillous is going to start making their way across the map. Oh no. An engagement in the middle. As Percival gets away with murder there. This could have cost him his life. Or even worse, the life of his Reaper. Here we go. We're playing on the West server. Let's show off some of that low ping micro here, baby. Puff. Toof. Pagadoom. Drang. Ooh, second Reaper shows up. Skillous in a bit of trouble. Oh, Skillous loses his first adept. Behind this, we have a Stargate coming out. And look at this. This is interesting because we do not... Oh, no. Wait, we can't have Warp Gate research. That's not how this game works anymore. But it is still interesting. No Warp Gate being researched. Battery coming down here. Reaper Hellion into a mine drop, but with a tech lab. Very cute play. A confusing move. Absolutely. As a couple of workers here are going to end up falling. Nice control on these Reapers. 4 probes have gone down. And more might be on the way to heaven as well. To meet e-commerce Jesus himself. Guarding the gates. Oh, there we go. Oh. Phoenix is about to be built here, so... This gets scouted by Percival, who has a good understanding as to what is going on in this game. Let's see what his response is going to be to the situation. Cyclone comes out. Robotics facility on the way as well. We're going to play Phoenix Colossus. Phoenix Colossus for Skillous against a Cyclone Medevac push here out of Percival with a low marine count. This seems to me like an attack that is going to have very little chance of actually working. Grand move here coming out of Skillous as he flies in with the Phoenix. Is looking for information. Gets a little bit of it, but doesn't see the medevac. Which would have been nice information to gather, let me tell you. It would have been phenomenal. Ooh. Oh. 6 marine move out here. That is interesting. Oh, look at this. This is cute. Well, not for Skillous, because Skillous most likely is going to lose both of these structures here. He doesn't have the units to deal with the medevac, the cyclone, and the mine. Because he'll need to run around, right? Well, maybe he does, actually. He's going to have 3 Phoenixes out, 3 adepts. The Viking, oh, gets 1 shot off. Every bit of damage here that gets dealt onto the Phoenix is a big deal, by the way. Ooh, adepts are going to go across the map. So we have a counterplay here coming out of Skillous. And the counterplay is going to be to kill some workers. The problem is, if the Viking lands, that might just not be possible. Phoenixes maybe need to move their way across the map to help out, but then you don't have Phoenixes at home. So this is a tough situation. A tough nut to crack here for Skillous. Is this a nut that he can crack? Seems like he is the nut. And Percival is the nutcracker. Okay, Cyclone Marine Viking comes in. Colossus on the way out. Sentry gets blasted. 2 Cyclones, 8 Marines, and 2 Vikings are going to be murdering our good friend Skillous over here. As this first game was a disaster. A masterclass in losing to Terran being put on. As, there we go. GG gets called. Percival will win game number 1. Reaper Hellion perhaps doing a little bit too much damage, a bit too much information, and then a beautiful kill there on the gate and Cybercore. The triple adept run by not working out, and Skillous down 1-0, showcasing the difficulties that Protoss have in the current patch of really doing anything. Next server, luckily, is going to be Central. I'd be proud of that performance over Skillous. At Harstem, your best mate Mark Schlappy says streaming on YouTube messes up your YouTube views. Yeah, I know. You have to... You can't completely stream on YouTube. I don't know if this is the case for everyone. But I know within StarCraft, streaming on YouTube is a death sentence for your channel, actually. It is 100% true. Yeah. I've noticed this as well. It is actually negative value. The only reason why I do it is because there's a lot of people that only watch on YouTube. But so the reason why this happens, this is meta. I hate meta. But the reason why this happens is because VODs for YouTube are getting promoted as videos. So, and the way that people interact with streams is very different than with videos. An important metric is watch time percentage. And the watch time percentage on streams is freaking pathetic. It's like 9% or something. While on most videos, it's 50%. So YouTube looks at your previous, like your performance on your stream, and it goes, hey, people are only watching 9%. Your videos must suck. And then your next like 5 videos get super under promoted. I've noticed this. But I've decided that for the Shopify Rebellion Sundays, I'll make an exception because it's kind of a special event. People are more likely to tune in for a longer time, and the viewership is a little bit higher as well. But it is a very negative business move. The only way that I've noticed people doing very well on YouTube streams, if that is kind of your main content already, is streaming. So if you have a channel where you're posting your streams and then you also stream, and you just do stream content, it's kind of fine. But I noticed specifically in StarCraft 2 it's really bad, and I think it's the same in most other games. It just is a negative downward spiral on your channel. That's why in the past I've made like different channels to stream on YouTube. But for Shopify Rebellion Sundays, you know, we gotta spread the good word of Shopify Rebellion Jesus. You know, you gotta tell the folks on YouTube as well. Okay, this barracks might be in a little bit of trouble. Ooh, Percival here. This could be detrimental for Percival's chances of winning this game. If he loses this SCV before this barracks finishes up, that's game. However, that's not what's happening here. SCV pops out, bloop, goes back home, and the Reaper comes here to play. Now look at this. This is going to be a rapid Reaper. Skillous is going to be building a Zealot. I wonder if he cancels that actually. I think, so this sounds dumb because you want a unit, but I think canceling the Zealot is the correct move. This looks weird, okay? Because you're like, Harstem, don't you want a unit? Yes. Of course you would. You would love to have a unit. Don't get me wrong. Skillous would love to have a unit. But the thing is, the Zealot doesn't contribute a whole lot to him, and it actually cuts out some workers, and it cuts out Nexus time. And a good player, a high-level player, is going to be capable of moving around the Zealot. So maybe instead of losing 2 probes, you're going to end up losing just 1 probe. And that's just not worth it to build a Zealot. Delay your second gas, etc, etc. And here, look at this. Skillous doing a pretty decent job, and that needs to move to the right direction. Gets us around. This cost him a lot of mining time. But it also allows him to... Oh, what's he going to do? Okay, he's going to camp the barracks. This is a high ground CC territory, by the way. Phenomenal start here for Skillous. Phenomenal. Just great stuff. High ground CC territory. We're mining a lot of gas. Cyclone will need to be built here as the first unit. Percival kind of getting butchered there, let me tell you. Harstem, what is your current understanding of the warp gate change? In particular, what do you think about the value of researching warp gate for the shorter production time without actually using warp gates? I think that the warp gate change... Okay, I'll quickly give my opinion on this, okay? There's a couple of things. I think for mid-game balance, the warp gate change is good. As in, PvT is going to be better balanced as a result of the warp gate change if the early game was untouched. The problem is, the early game is not untouched, which makes warp gate, like any build order that Protoss has, practically impossible to play. Second of all, I think that it might be too late for significant changes on warp gate, just due to the entire population of Protoss. This is like all of a sudden changing Zerg to not have inject and just kind of add a different mechanic. Like the Protoss macro cycle is warp gates. I don't know if this is something that you want to change, personally. And the fact that you're severely limiting aggression in the mid game as well as in the early game, like basically gutting any Protoss build order that you have, makes me believe that like any added cost to warp gates just lower strategic diversity by an insane amount in every single matchup. Like right now, most Protoss players are completely skipping Warp Gate because they do not believe it to be viable. Which is a crazy thing, because it's like, it's been such a staple. So I'm not a big fan of this change at all. One could even call me a bit of a hater. Ooh, look at this! Percival, after a god-awful start, says, hey, my start might have been terrible, but I'm gonna go 4x tank. I'm not sure how that undoes his terrible start, but I'm damn curious to see how this is gonna work out. So this is a build that is going to be all in. A Forge is a crazy player. No. Did he misread? No. Maybe cannons. Maybe it's for cannons. If this Forge is for cannons, I actually don't mind it. I hope this Roobay is going to become a Purification Nova builder. We're going to get Immortals. We're going to get Sentries. We have the Phoenixes for a run-by. I think they should be for picking off reinforcements, not going for SCVs. Reinforcement King. That's what you want to be. Absolutely. Fantastic stuff. Okay, we're going to get 2 Marines here for free. We're going to get a 3rd Marine for free. We're going to get a 4th Marine for free. This is exactly what you want to be doing against Percival right now. Colossus is a move. It's a longer time to build, but really strong against Marines. If you get it out, it's phenomenal, obviously. Obviously, it's phenomenal. And now we're going to get the cannons. Okay, so it was for cannons. It was a Forge for cannons. We're going to add the batteries. We have at least 1 force field. With an energy recharge available, we might get to 2 force fields. Thermal lance is being researched as well. I really think I would have preferred disruptors, but I could be wrong. Skillous is a vastly superior player to me, so we'll defer to his knowledge here. Okay, cannons are about to finish up. It looks weird because tanks outrange that, but it gives you time. Cannons buy you time. And if you're being all in with an SCV Marine Marauder pool, time is actually of the essence as the Colossus here is going to get a flank on these units. Fleet Beacon comes out, so he wants to defend this with Tempest, which is an interesting call. Okay, Sentry is going to get sniped. That is bad, because that means no more force fields. We're going to need the Observer over here to really help out. So now the cannons will need to be chewed through. Bit by bit, step by step, shot by shot. And you see, this wins time. Every cannon wins you about 5 seconds. Which is fine. Like, this is a good investment if you're waiting for thermal land. Absolutely. You don't want to attack into these cannons. You don't. Like, these 3 cannons won him about 15 to 20 seconds. Now we're going to get a siege further forward, which he still needs to do. So they probably win even more time. We have another layer of cannons coming out. First Tempest on the way here as well. Thermal lens finishing up in about 10 seconds. The lack of batteries here is worrying to me. As Percival continues pushing him further forward, the 3 Phoenixes are trying to get this tank, but will not get it. 1 Phoenix goes down. Don't forget. This is very, very all in. A bunch of SCVs have moved back home, by the way, here for Percival, as a stim gets used kind of late into the mix. Tanks survive for now. I think these gateway units might have moved a little bit too far forward. Robotics facility is going to fall. So the first Tempest is about to pop. Tectonic Destabilizer is about to come out here as well. And now we're going to see the Tempest defense against the tank line. This is not something I see every single day of the week. I actually never see this. No days of the week. As the Tempest is going to continue pushing in. Oh, this one tank here is dealing a lot of damage. I think this Tempest could actually move onto this area and start shooting this freaking tank. Turret gets sniped. I think this is positionally maybe interesting for Percival. This tank needs to be repaired big time. We're going to get a Zealot out. Second Tempest about to pop as well. Tectonic Destabilizers at about 30% here too. Oh, 1 Colossus goes down. That is a big deal. If both Colossus fall, by the way, the Marines reign supreme. I tell you. We're gonna get an unsiege here. And we probably are gonna get 1 more kill on at least 1 tank. And the carrier follow-up, 3rd CC. So this push fails out of Percival, and immediately Skillous takes a Nexus, goes into air toss. Tectonic Destabilizers on the way. Don't forget, there's currently no real anti-air, so just triple Tempest in and by itself is going to be difficult to deal with. The problem is that the Marauder count is too high for the Colossus to confidently move across the map. So that's going to make things difficult. Question in the chat is, can Percival just go home? He killed many minerals. He can go home, but... I mean, he can go home. It's the best call that he has. Like, going in probably would have been a desperation play. And he can go home, but he's going to need to deal with these Tempests, which is an issue. And Something that you might be capable of doing here as well is actually sending the carriers across. I'm not sure if that's what Skillous wants to do, because that's putting a lot of eggs in one basket. But you see there's just double starport. It's like 2 waves of Vikings is going to push this back. So you're probably going to lose another like 4, 5, 6, 7 SCVs. I'm just not you know. It feels bad. It feels bad. Oh, here we go. I think we're going to get a recall. 1 Tempest will fall. Or he just kites back. Oh, look at that. Percival not with the commitment there onto killing a Tempest. Carriers coming in. We have double port pumping units. We have a single eBay upgrade. I think now it's time for an armory. Now it's time for an armory. +1 infantry armor comes in as well. One, two, three. Cannon, battery. I do not think that Skillous can... Or sorry, I do not think that Percival can move in here, by the way. This is a completely unrealistic ask of this army, right? 9 Vikings against 4 carriers, a mothership, and 3 Tempest. I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy fights in my time, but there is no way in hell that this is going to end up working out for Percy. There is no way in hell that this is going to end up working out for Percy. Let's not forget how this game started, by the way. A failed Proxy Reaper into a failed 4 Marine tank, or 4 Rex tank attack. I think Skillous might be pushing a little bit too hard here. Colossus ideally doesn't die. Tempest still continues shooting. Viking count is at 9. I mean, without an armory, +2 is going to win the game here. The moment you get like 10 +2 carriers against an unupgraded Viking force, life is going to suck. I think what Percival is doing is actually going for a 1-1 all-out timing attack with Viking Ghost. So he wants to take one big fight and win the game straight up. Skillous, meanwhile, adding more and more carriers into the mix. Now, this hasn't necessarily been buffed, by the way. I want you all to be aware of this. This still has the same strength as before. I guess Ghosts are a little bit weaker against Colossus. Or not against Colossus, I guess in general. So carriers kill Ghost quicker. That's the only change that I could see is in favor. But then again, they also have larger range. So I don't know. Percival's adding in a 4cc. I think this is a huge blunder. This should have been on position. Not a huge blunder, but it's a blunder. On position. Because there's no warp gate, and you know there's no warp gate. Viking count is 17. Here we go. EMP connects with this army. Carriers do not have their +2 quite yet. You have 8 carriers out. Floop. There we go. Mothership gets taken out. Air weapons level 2 are going to finish up right now. I think this is a death sentence here for Percy, no? Or am I crazy? He's going to be bleeding out units. I think Skillous is allowed to be a little bit more aggressive with these carriers. Yes, he has 17 interceptors remaining. He has 3 Tempests as well, and there's only 6 Vikings in here right now. I guess the Marines in the back are doing a lot of work. 136 supply to 153. Behind this, Percival has now finished up his 4cc, is adding in another port. No, yes, double ports. Look at that. So we're going for 3 barracks. 4 barracks, sorry. 5 barracks, 4 port. We don't have a ship weapons upgrade yet. Skillous, I think, needs to start moving quickly. Because I think the longer this game goes, the better it's going to be for Percival due to the lack of warp gate. Not having Templar archives in here is a serious mistake. What are we lacking here? $50C on the way. This should be an orbital. Percival is lacking experience against this style. This should be an orbital. Like, what do you need the planetary for? What? To deal with the sentry? Ridiculous. Preposterous. Percival. You don't need a planetary to deal with a sentry. You're being... That is clearly not okay. An orbital provides loads and loads of free minerals, which is exactly what you want in life. Free minerals. 1, 2, 3, 4 starports. And we get ship weapons. I'd love to see a second armory. I think it's good. We have the ghost. So the problem here for Skillous, now this doesn't look like a huge problem, but it is. It really is a problem. The problem here for Skillous is that he is building a very boring unit composition. And I'm not upset with the fact that he's playing a boring unit composition because he believes this is his best chance of winning, but he needs to add in Templar. You need Templar or Disruptors, or you need something to deal with high numbers of Vikings. And I think the timer is running out on him right now. Okay, the timer is running out. The Viking count is growing rapidly. The Ghost count is growing. So you're going to have Viking and Ghost against just Carrier. That's not good. There's going to be Liberators here too. You know, that's actually a style that you can play. If you have lots of Liberators and you're fighting against pure Carrier, you can just A-move and kill every single Interceptor. Like the splash is freaking phenomenal. Like the kiss of a chef. I don't know why chefs have such a good reputation when it comes to kissing. I feel like most chefs look like they smoke a lot, you know? I would not want to be caught kissing a chef. Mainly because I'm married and my wife is not a chef. So I think that would, you know, give significant problems for my relationship. But in general, I feel like the stereotype of the chef is not necessarily, you know, it's like that they're super clean. Like they usually have like a cigarette in their mouth. They probably eat a lot of garlic as well. Don't understand why the chef's kiss is supposed to be a good thing. The pro gamer's kiss. What the hell? That's fantastic. Oh, here we go. Vikings moving forward. It's gonna lose 4 Vikings to snipe 3 Phoenixes. Probably not worth it. Then again, I'm not a mathematician. Ooh, here we go. Carrier count is high. 17. As this is kind of what you want to do as Skillous. You want to jump on top of this army with all of your Interceptors being out. Having your Interceptors out is a huge deal. Planetary is going to get taken out. Turrets are trying to do their best, but it's not going to be good enough. And look at that. Oh my god, these +3 Interceptors are just clearing this Percival forces. GG gets called. Skillous wins map number 2 here on the Old Republic and puts himself on the map in this series. It's going to be a 2-2 score. It's phenomenal. I'm a huge fan of that. I am a huge fan of that. Okay, what do we have here? As our third map, we're going to go into Winter Madness. Many people ask me often, Harstem, what is your favorite map in this map pool? I would never say Winter Madness, but it is one of the maps in the map pool. So that's kind of, you know, I made that mental jump there. Skillous coming in. I just want you to know that Lambo laughed at me and basically called me bronze for suggesting the Liberators versus Carriers. If Lambo called you bronze, he's probably right. Honestly, I trust Lambo's opinion more than my own. I just said I saw the Liberators being used. I think Piotr used to do that. Spirit. Mass Liberator. Oh my god, I just got a freaking pop-up from the Nvidia app that says I have a new reward available. The 007 Light reward. I don't even know what the hell that means. Why are they allowed to do pop-ups straight onto my screen? That's ridiculous. I hate them. All right. Ladies and gentlemen. It's for the new James Bond game? Yeah, I don't want to play it. I'm not interested in it. Give me some StarCraft 2 ads, Nvidia. What's wrong with them? Alright. Here we go. Protoss versus Terran. Korea versus Europe. The Netherlands. Skillous is in the Netherlands right now. If I look towards the north, which is there. No, wait. Where's the north for me? I think that's where my north... Oh my god. I'm perfectly on top of the compass when I sit in front of here. West, north, east, south. That's crazy. Okay. If I look to the northeast, and I would have like the, you know, the supervision, I probably could see Skillous playing on his computer. Because we're in the same country. You know, if I could look through everything that isn't Skillous, I would see Skillous if I look straight there. And my range is like 100 kilometers or so. It's pretty cool, no? I guess then you have the curvature of the Earth as well to think about. How much does the... I guess if I can look through everything but Skillous, no matter where the hell Skillous is, I would easily see him. Just go around. It'd be a terrible StarCraft 2 cast, though. If only thing I can see is Skillous. Like, oh, Skillous still sitting in front of his PC. Well, I don't even know that because I don't see his PC. He's like a floating Skillous. Well, that was a terrible hypothetical by me. I apologize. I wish I never started my sentences. All right. We have game 3 with Skillous. Ooh, going for a little bit of a scout here. Hi everyone, I'm looking for a trusted high quality e-commerce platform. Any suggestions for me? So the really cool thing about e-commerce is that there's a lot of competitors in this space, which not many people notice, but I have always said competition drives innovation. And often at the end of, you know, a cycle of innovation, you have a clear, like a head runner, the guy that's in front, you know? And I would say right at this moment, I'd give that position to Shopify. I think Shopify is the most viable e-commerce platform right now. Out of all the e-commerce platforms that you can think of. And I know very many. I just won't name them here due to conflicts of interest, but you ask anyone, like any e-commerce expert, they'll tell you the same thing. It's like, it's Shopify ride or die. Okay? I don't know what ride or die means, but I think I used it correctly there. All right. Hey Harstem, I'm working on a StarCraft 2 theory craft planner build order, but I'm lacking replays on the PTR patch to calibrate build order time. It's gonna bother you for your replay/cache on the new patch. Send me a message on Discord. I'll just send you my folder, buddy. Ooh, we're gonna get an interesting attack here. Look at that. Marauder, Marine. Into a Stargate. Skip on the Warp Gate. 3 Rex follow-up. As well as... What's that? A second gas. This looks like one hell of a build. But there's some nice kiting that you can do. Marine goes back. So the problem here for Skillous is that he's being outranged big time. This is why I think having a Stalker is quite nice against Marauder builds. Marine just keeps moving back. Gets a bit of damage in. Are we losing a lot of energy here? We are losing a lot of energy on that battery. This is crazy because this is a build that is completely non-viable. Completely unviable. We're getting a factory in the mix too. Reactor tech lab. Okay. These guys ideally get to go home and see their families again. And see if Skillous has similar ideas about this or if he thinks of something else. It's hard to say. 2 depots on the way at the same time usually indicates a supply block that is imminent. And indeed, here we are. One of those imminent supply blocks. Marines are ready to deal with the Oracle. Marauder Marine gets to go home, see their family again. If this Marine dies, I'll be very sad. This guy saw a lot. Took 2 adept shots to the face. An arrow to the knee. And we're going to go into a starport factory. Now, in the previous game, we saw Skillous open up with Phoenix Colossus. In the game before, he tried to go into Phoenix Colossus. And now once more, he's opening into Phoenix Colossus. Providing ample variety here for us in the early game. And I'm personally really excited to see another game of Carrier Tempest. And I know you guys are too. Because that's what we're all about here at the Shopify Rebellion Sundays, after all. Sentry's about to come out. Robo Bay is almost done. And here we go with an attack onto the 3rd base location. Ooh, more Marines coming out. Actually, if you get a snipe on this 3rd, I don't want to, it will snipe a kill. a third base assassination attempt here. And you can get that pre-Colossus, right? Like, there's no way there's just no way that Skillous can defend this. This is not possible. Humanly not viable. He's gonna try, which I think is a serious mistake. A profound mistake here in the early game if he thinks he can defend this. He's gonna kill one of these Marines. He's gonna need to move back. Because of shells is done as well. So if he gets caught, you know? If you get caught with your pants down, these pictures are spreading rapidly across the internet, Skillous. And that is not something you want. That is not okay. Okay, now with the Colossus out. Ooh, I think just a snipe on the base is fine. Ooh, we're gonna go for it. So our good friend Percival believes that he can take a good fight. He's taking a really damn good fight. He's taking a phenomenal fight. He's gonna get the kills here on the Zealots. He's gonna get another snipe here on the Nexus. As Skillous is being bullied out of this game here. Percival with a double drop into the main base. The first Tempest on the way out. Phoenix is moving in as well. And Percival showing us the meaning of the word attacking here. He kills another pilot and decides to take a couple of big shots to the face. The thing here is that it's going to be 3 base versus 2 base. Percival has full control of this game right now. Full control. 2 Colossus with thermal lance are going to, you know, push these Marines a little bit further back. Now we get a Nexus. Personally, I believe that this Nexus should be proxied, so that the opponent doesn't find it instantly. That is what I would like to do. We're going to go for Tempest here in the early game. We have Zealot production coming out of the gate. Oracle's going to make its way across the map. And I think, you know, one of my theories... And when I say one of my theories, one of the things that Lambo once showed me is that whenever you play against Stargate Robo, pure Phoenix Carrier, something that you can do is that you just go for triple starport. And you just kill the other guy with like 6 Viking production. It's freaking crazy. Because you're just outproducing the Protoss big time. You go for a big fight, you win the game. I think what Percival's gonna do is similar to what he did in the previous game. So, Ghost Viking, decent eco, try to go for it. Maybe a little drop here, maybe a little drop there. But a more common approach is because these guys don't have a lot of experience against this style. I probably have more experience against this style with Terran than Percival does, because I play at a level where people used to play this type of garbage. Used to be one guy on the ladder that would always play this. I forgot his name. And I would always forget his name until you realize it's too late and he's 4 carriers out. God, that was such a rough time. Gonna get a triple mine drop here towards the north. Our good friend Skillous is gonna see that. Doesn't have a cannon in position. It's really hard to split your army against single drops, by the way. Look at this. He's moving over with like 2 Tempests and a Phoenix. Like a Colossus and a Phoenix to deal with a triple mine drop. This is sad. Oh, whoa, 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 here we go. At the same time, big attack coming in. Marine Marauder runs forward. As Percival is going to be kiting back. Kills 9 workers. A lot of that, I think, with this, with these mines as well. Percival adds another starport into the mix. A 4CC, I think, could be on the way here too. An armory, second eBay, first carriers now coming out. Let's see if we're going to see a better follow-up here out of Percy. Let's see if that's going to be in the cards here for us than in the previous time. Because last time he got freaking murdered by Skillous. Here comes Percival in between bases. Skillous does have vision with the Observer. First Colossus goes down instantly. As the Viking count is at 6. We have 5 Tempests right now with the +1 upgrade. I really think just pumping the starport numbers here is the correct thing to do, by the way. Yes, there we go. Third starport comes in. I don't know which worker is building that. Oh, it's this guy. Look at that. All the way from the third base. On hell of a journey. It's like being sent back to the main command stand. It's like, oh, maybe I'll get a promotion. Maybe I finally get to see my family. It's like, no, I get to build a Stargate and then walk back. It's like, oh, you provide me with a horse, sire. It's like, no. You're walking with your feet, Mr. SCV. Or throwing you down the cliff. Is that what you want? You can be one of the boys that is being pulled. Okay. Surreal stuff. Dude, being an SCV must freaking suck. I would never want to be an SCV. A terrible job. Mining until you get pulled into an attack just to be cannon fodder for the Colossus. Or the Storms. Insane. Okay, pure Marine drop does not really work well against Colossus, but Well, with this marine spread, maybe he can at least get a couple of workers out. This was a move to deny the fort, by the way, but there is no fort. So I guess mission accomplished, one could say. Here goes the attack onto the carrier, onto the Tempest as well. One carrier falls as Percival is stimming in and is going to be taking out significant numbers of units. Maybe so significant that Skillous will have no units left over. After all of these units have been taken out, we have the double drop in the main base. As the simulator is getting pounded and pounded and pounded and pounded. Oi, oi, oi. And there you go. A second win for Percival. And that means I will be sending messages right now to Shin and ShoWTimE. We are in game 4 of our previous series. Please be ready to play if it ends. Channel SRS. Okay. Ding, boom, boom, boom. Central. What went really wrong? It's hard to say. I think the dance at the third base is difficult. I always thought that 3X was quite good against Phoenix Colossus because of that. And I think I'm right. Okay, also keeping an eye on YouTube chat, see what you boys are doing. All right. Percival 2, Skillous 1. It looks like the mules are too powerful of a mechanic in the game. That's what I've been saying for all this time. I just believe that the warp gate is too weak. It's just too weak. The warp gate needs to be buffed, guys. What are we doing here? Oh, what the hell is Skillous doing here? I think he's going for a proxy pylon, but it's hitting too late, no? Am I crazy? Skillous. Skillous. What is this? Okay, here we go. Okay, a second pylon proxy. So, decent worker count. Chrono on the workers. Is this a cannon barrage? No way. Let's see what this is gonna do here. Single gate. Because of the eco, I think. We can't afford a second one. He's gonna need to... Oh, he's gonna go 15 gate. Look at that. 15 gate. No scout. Oh my god. Percival, you dirty dog. You monster of a human being. Is this the first time he scouted around? Oh my god, that was an instant response as well. I don't think this got spotted, that it got spotted. Percival is simply too good for his own good. This guy, he played StarCraft. You know what happened here? I think Percival won that last game so hard. He saw his opponent go freaking Colossus Phoenix 3 times. It's like, there's no way he's gonna try this a 4th time. Because if it's a standard game, he gets blasted. So he scouts around for the expected proxy gate. He finds it. You know, people often ask me what makes Percival so good. I think it's his mechanics. I don't actually think it's his mechanics and his decision making, but this is also... He's just good at planning series. He's a genius. He actually is a genius. Not many people know this, because maybe they haven't watched me enough, but Percival is the fastest rising player in the world right now when it comes to Aligalag rating. He just can't stop winning. What the hell is this? I think Skillous gets away ahead from here now. His gateway gets scouted, but he just went into Nexus, so he must have seen the SCV scouting him. And now we have a bunker, no CC quite yet. This actually looks good for Skillous. Or am I... Well, not good, but... Well, actually quite good. I think this is fine. We had 2 Marines, a bunker, a late CC. Gonna get a Stargate again. Oh, a Robo. Oh. Because he's expecting a 1-1-1 attack. Quite intelligent. Quite intelligent indeed. Robo. Phylum. Okay. Second adept comes out here as well. Cyclone, which makes a lot of sense to me. Don't forget, we have no committed scout out of Percival. He doesn't know if there's a nexus. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. So there's a couple of things he can do. Theoretically, we could even see like a Raven setup in case it's DT. So like Marine, tank. Something that's interesting to note is that every single time Percival had to cut something, he cut out SCVs. So he missed a little bit of SCV production as well. Dude, Percival's very ballsy. He's kind of crazy. Gonna fly over. I guess this is just the correct move. Like, you need to see what's going on. It's gonna be Robo into Stargate. Okay, so the reverse. Very interesting choice of strategies. So 3 times Stargate into Robo. Now Robo into Stargate. This is going to throw his opponent for a serious loop. It's totally crazy. Imagine being like an archaeologist, you know, in the year 3500. You find like a USB stick with this series on it. That is going to be the find of a lifetime. It's like you'll realize that even in the year like 2026, people knew that they could flip the order of buildings to get to the same destination. They will not believe that we will be similar to the cavemen anymore. You know, it's like this is a highly evolved society. Like they really understood what they were doing. Oh, he's gonna straight up rush into Fleet Beacon. Because why actually? Because there's a tank calling coming. So he's gonna go Immortal, Tempest, Adept. I mean, this is one hell of a setup to go for, let me tell you. I kind of like what Skillous is doing here. Gonna get an 8 Marine drop into the natural. I bet Percival is regretting going for this type of follow-up attack. If he gets 12 workers, he'll hear the game just end, by the way. He's only gonna get 2 though, so that's a very different outcome than previously discussed. Look, I always say if the toss is on 2 bases and they lose 12 workers for free, that might just be game. Tank siege up. I think this might be a mistake. I could be wrong. Is this wrong? Yeah, Percival agrees. Like, this Harstem fella knows what's up. He's going to send a Liberator into the main base, which I think is actually quite intelligent. It's going to at least temporarily confuse the opponent. Now we might go for a rotation on the 3rd. Dude, I think Percival is genuinely very intelligent. It is really rare for me to compliment the intelligence of Terran players. Usually it's their speed or the fact that they haven't pooped their pants in a couple of hours. But in this case, I think Percival actually might have a working brain, which is extraordinarily rare for Terran players. He has Stim as well. He's gonna actually cancel this 3rd base. Wow. Really nice rotations here by him. Well done. Well executed attacks. He's gonna get this Nexus, which is a huge deal, by the way. This is going to give him a lot of breathing room because he didn't have his 3rd CC yet. So he can just kind of pull back right now. I wouldn't mind seeing a 2nd starport already coming out of our boy. I think it would be correct. He's going to get a 3rd CC on location. What was I saying? Yeah, 2nd starport here. Like heavy Viking production. I think it would be good. Dude, this is crazy. It's like he's hearing me. No? Like, legitimately, every single time I want him to do something, he does it. He skips barracks 4 and 5. I'm not sure if he's a genius or he's just playing how I want people to play. And I'm just really dumb as well. So he's just following bad advice. No? Are we just both wrong? It is possible. But a lot of the moves here make a lot of sense. And the cool thing about Percival is that he doesn't mind taking some risk as well. Like, he's a risky operator, okay? Skillous here with the rotation towards the bottom. He smells it, he sees it, he feels it. He's gonna go actually snipe this. It's the first time that I've seen like a sharking army of Tempest in my life, by the way. See how fast Percival is? Not fast enough, baby. That's 10 supply that goes down the drain. Just a single Colossus. Yeah, you're gonna need to piss off here, Percy. This is not your town anymore. Skillous just, he just took your throne, baby. Ghost Academy comes down. Colossus, Tempest, all the works. Do we have Thermal Lens yet? No, we don't. Ooh, Thermal Lens not being done could be a potential issue. We have more Tempest on the way. Viking count is at 6. Tempest count is at 5. Marauder count at 6. Ay, ay, ay. 6 Marauders, 6 Vikings. That is perfect times 2. I do not believe that Skillous can just walk across the map. Okay, yeah, he goes home. That is the correct thing. Well, thank you, Ducklings, for the raid with the 130 people. Shout out to you guys. We all had a great stream. We have the stream of our lifetime here. This is the Shopify Rebellion Sundays. If you're not familiar with it, it's the day where we talk about e-commerce and StarCraft 2. And how to seamlessly integrate these two together in your life. Use e-commerce so you have more time to play StarCraft 2. So you don't need to work anymore. The e-commerce does it all. 7 Tempest are out. 2 more carriers on the way here too. 4 CC on position. We have... Oh, what the... Okay, this doesn't make... Oh! This does make sense. Look at that. Percival was gonna go for a snipe on the Sharking Tempest. Except the Sharking Tempest is an old concept that Skillous has already retired. Okay? Percival is looking for sleeper agents that have already died. Ay, 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 ay. Percy, Percy, Percy. You got caught not with your pants down, but that was embarrassing. We know what you tried to do there, buddy. Okay, it was full on display. Skillous read you like a book. Skillous is a big book reader as well. He loves books, this guy. Rumor on the street is, this guy has a library pass. Pays for it. Crazy. Okay, Mothership on the way out, +2 as well. There's no ship weapon upgrade yet. Fort base going up in the forward position. This has been a game with little interactions. And that's okay. You see more strategy. The less interactions you have. We get a big... Oh my god. Big stim forward here, which is scary. Vikings now coming in. We'll go for the first carrier. We'll get it. Second carrier. No, Tempest. As... ooh, doesn't have enough Vikings to one-shot. That might have been a... Maybe should have been a calculation that you wanted to do before you attack. How many shots I need for the Tempest. I don't actually know how many you do need. Still seems to be fine though. 9 Vikings remain against the 7 Tempest. As the Vikings fly forward, the batteries are out of energy and the probes are falling. As Percival is going to be most likely picking up the Category B series here. As he is stimming to victory. Third starport on the way as well. 4th command center flying over. Okay. Oh, yeah, third starport. Something that's interesting, by the way, is to see if this turns into an orbital or a planetary. We get to see whether Percival can learn on the job or not. He should learn on the job. Please let this be an orbital. Show me you're an intelligent Terran. If this fort is an orbital, Percival is my new spirit animal. Come on. You know there's not going to be any run-bys here. Orbital? Oh my god, Percival's a goat. He's a... Meh. That is a sheep. I think goats and sheep are very similar though. He is the goat. What the hell? That is so cool. See, he is one of the few Terrans that actually learns within the series itself. He's like a massive sponge that picks up information and immediately uses it. Phenomenal gameplay here out of the Terran as he stims in further forward. The Colossus are being taken out. Mothership gets blasted here as well. The ground force is still alive-ish. Oh, actually, this fight wasn't that brilliant. Because the air units stay alive. And +2 is now done for these air units as well. Dude, I thought this game was super over. But we have a fort base here for Skillous. We have 3 Stargates and a robotics facility. And the Viking count is freaking 4, 6. Skillous could make a play for it right now. And I think Percival realizes and he starts building turrets like his life depends on it. Because it might depend on it. 5th CC on the way. On position. It's going to turn into an orbital. Battery here is being blasted. As one of these patches hasn't been mining this entire time. You hate to see it. +3 is halfway done. I think Skillous is going to make a similar play as he did in the second game, where he went with +3 and then killed his opponent. I hope that's what we're going to see as well. I really do hope that's what we're going to see. Okay, 4 Vikings on the way. 2 medevacs on the way. I think the one thing we're lacking is ship weapons. We need ship weapons too. I think we need a second armory for vehicle plating, which is going to be huge. Our Viking count right now is at 14. Percival wants to really aggressively trade into his opponent. We have 4 Tempest out with +2. Mothership on the way. Do we have an Oracle? No, we don't. We're going to get a 6 Marine drop into the main as well. It's going to be interesting. I think a single carrier can deal with that. We're going to get a zoning nuke. Nuclear launch detected. Except Skillous hasn't detected it quite yet. Buff! 15 workers go down at an instant. Colossus will deal with the drop, but you should have been dealing with the nuke. And as the Nexus is going to get cleared here. And Percival says, that was fun. I'm going to pick up and piss off. +2 is on the way for me. Oh, it's actually going to continue pushing him further forward. 18 Vikings. We have 9 carriers and 4 Tempests. +3 is very close to finishing up. Thermal Lance is coming in soon as well. Mothership about to come out. Here we go. Interceptors are coming out. EMP connects with the entire force here. The numbers are dwindling for both players, but they're dwindling, I think, a little bit faster here on the side of Skillous as the carriers are going down. Percival chews through this force with EMPs, Viking target fire, and a healthy appetite for money. As Percival will win $100 by taking out Skillous 3-1, and will come back next week to play for another $100 in the Shopify Rebellion Sundays official number 4. We had a bonus already, of course. So this is theoretically, this is 3.5. And next week will be 4.5. But yeah, Percival is phenomenal. I will tell you guys one thing, though. I am not going to be doing another PvT on the current PTR. Because this is not very good. I had a good time because these strategies, I hadn't seen them in a long time. So seeing them a couple of times in a row is not the end of the world. I'm not going to be casting 2 best of 5s of PvT, Skytos versus Viking Ghost. This is not what the Sundays are for. The Sundays are for exploration and discovery. They're not for Skytos. Okay? That's not what is supposed to happen. Shin and ShoWTimE are both here. Shin and ShoWTimE, did you veto? Also for Shin, pick heads or tails for server. There you go. I thought they were for e-commerce. StarCraft first, e-commerce second. If you think to yourself, hats? Oh no, if you think to yourself, I want some of those beautiful shirts that Harstem keeps talking about, go to shopifyrebellion.gg. Go to the store, use code SRHarstem for a 10% discount on legitimately anything that you want, I think. That's code SRHarstem for a 10% discount. Shirts, hoodies, sweaters, I think. What else do they have? Who is A? You are A. Just because he asked. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Okay, we're going to do heads or tails as well. Well, these guys are busy vetoing. Okay, he said heads. So we throw it. Heads again. Heads is extremely overpowered. Buy product with the Harstem code, resell on Shopify? Dude, it would be crazy. You know what YouTube still hasn't fixed? The fact that every one of my chat messages is being translated into Dutch. And then if I want to keep it in English, I can set the language of the website in English, but then it translates from English to Dutch and then from Dutch to English. So it changes the original message. Freaking crazy. This has to be the worst system in the world. I actually messaged my partner manager about it, but he never responds to my email, so I don't think it's going to do anything. But still, the fact that this is a thing is insane. I think a green corral for the 14-month resub. Okay. Okay, now I get PvZ. I like PvZ. It's not bad. TvZ I think is the best matchup, but PvZ is fine. On the patch, it's playable. Ruby Hawk. Well, sit, children. Let me teach you the subject of the day. Do-do, do, do-do-do-do. That's the best kind of partnership. My girlfriend also never responds when I ask her something. I love it. When you say your girlfriend, do you mean your mom? That's a crazy thing to have in a relationship. What the hell? I do not recommend that. Partnership should be based on trust and open communication. If you don't have that, what are you doing in this relationship? It's time to find something else. Perhaps a relationship with the greatest e-commerce platform that currently exists, Shopify. When will there finally be a Shopify Rebellion Sunday for the lower league players? We need a bronze versus bronze match. You know what the problem is? You put on prize money for bronze versus bronze, you're going to have silvers that will want to win the $25 that I'll put up. It is a serious problem, is that people are dickheads. That's the number one problem in this world. Let me tell you that much. Okay, I have an idea though. I shared this idea with Irene and she said this was a terrible plan. I thought for a Shopify Rebellion Sunday anniversary, so maybe 5 or 10, 15, 20, 25, one of these, I will host a best of 101. And I have 2 people fight against each other for the best of 100. I think it's the longest series anyone's ever played, which I think would be cool to have on the Shopify Rebellion Sundays. And then we'll give them like a regular prize money split, like 70-30, and then also all the donations on the stream will go to them. And because the stream is going to be like freaking 24 hours, dude, they're going to become millionaires. Well, not quite, but they're going to be rich. Well, not rich. They'll have enough to maybe pay rent for that month. Which, as a StarCraft 2 professional, that's what we do it for. Making rent. Thoughts on this? Let's see what ShoWTimE is doing, by the way. It's going to go for a pilot. Nexus first. Okay, I haven't actually seen this yet. I'm very curious about it. I've heard good stories about Nexus first. I've heard bad stories about Nexus first. It would be great. Irene's pretty smart. You don't think it's a good idea? I think it's a good idea. Next first on the PTR is very gambly. Yeah, of course it is. Extraordinarily gambly. But that's fine. ShoWTimE says, I want to gamble. And I'm here to gamble with my life. For the people that are not familiar with the Shopify Rebellion Sundays, this is a King of the Hill format where we have 3 different levels of matches. And we build up in levels as well. Many people, they say you build down. For example, the pyramid. The smallest amount of stone is on the top. You're like, what a terrible system, pyramids. So when you get to the top, there's less stones than at the bottom. Which makes it make no sense that people want to go to the top of the pyramids. Because it would be worse than downstairs. There's less of it. I would just be standing right next to the base the entire time if I ever go and visit the pyramids. And you could really see the Shopify Rebellion Sundays as a reverse pyramid in that way. We start with the lowest MMR at the bottom. And then we work our way up through Division C, Division B, to Division A. The A-class players. That's where we are right now. If you win your match, you get to come back the next week. And guess what ShoWTimE did? ShoWTimE won his match. And he gets to come back. That means if he wins today, he's going to be on a 2-game winning streak. If he wins a 3rd game next week, imagine he wins this one, and then also next week he wins, he'd be on a 3-game winning streak. And I hear you say Harstem. There's only 3 divisions. Where does he promote to after he wins 3 games? If you're a Division A player and you win 3 games, you trigger a special event in which I will find an infinite amount of players. They will fight you in best of ones, and every single time you win a best of one as the defending King of the Hill champion, you get $50. So it is an infinite money glitch if you just win every game. And then the person that beats him will be the next week's Division A player. It is such an exciting system that I completely came up with myself. I actually think it's one of the best StarCraft 2 tournament systems that we've ever had. It's pretty cool, no? Harstem, are you in the Balance Council? There's no Balance Council. Council is dead. May it rest in peace. Ooh. We have 8 links coming out, and there's already 2 out. For the quick mathematicians, that means we're going to go into the double digits of the Zerg links. 14 links on the way, but an Oracle's coming. I do not understand this. Explain this to me, Zerg players. Shin scouts the Stargate in the wall, sees that there's an Oracle about to come out. Right? What is the plan? What is the plan with these links? Significant damage to self has been achieved. Okay, well done, Shin. I give it to you, my dear friend. But what's the point? Like, he's just gonna run around with these guys. The Oracle's just patrolling. You know, you're playing against ShoWTimE. ShoWTime's not gonna do anything risky or greedy. He's gonna stay at home with the Oracle. He's gonna have a good time. Fort Gas coming out. Ooh. Fort Gas. Fort Gas. Evo Chamber as well. Battery. Oh, here we go. Here comes the first Oracle across the map. Oh, Carapace? What the hell? Carapace. Do you guys know the game where you get to you answer questions? Is it called Weekend Millionaires? It's where you ask questions, they ask you questions, and then you have like helplines. I think you have 3 of them. You have the 50-50, you have the audience vote, and then you have the call a friend.
Game
Oh,
paused.
what the hell? Lag? Yeah, that's him. Touch your own PC. Wait. Okay, well, it doesn't work. I can speak to him. I would like to call a friend right now. And that friend would be Lambo. Because I want to know what the hell this Carapace first is. So the reason why Shin is doing this is because Carapace is cheaper than it was before. It used to be 150, 150. Now I think it's 100, 100 in the patch. There's a very significant buff to Zerg, by the way. This is a buff that is completely being ignored by the masses. Because it's being sneaked in here. And I guess what it does, it makes your links survive 2
Game resumed.
zealot swipes if the zealots have +1. So it's a very specific thing that you're doing here. I mean, it's allowed. It's just not something that I've ever seen before in this matchup. Ever. There's a lot of stalkers here. I mean, you can't just walk across the map and deal with these links, no? I don't think that works. There's way too many links here. Stasis wards are pushing forward. There's a 5th base behind this already. Okay, we need to blink back. We have 1 more stasis in the back. Actually gonna catch a lot of links here. It's well executed by ShoWTimE. But ShoWTime's playing a nice game. It's gonna go Stalker into Storm. Very standard stuff. He's building, look at this. ShoWTimE is building warp gate units. That is crazy. He's gonna need to recall here, by the way. So this is a safe space for him, and then we get a recall. Should have probably recalled a couple of seconds earlier. Okay, here we go. Loses 1 stalker. Dude, this was a crazy trade. Look at this. 34 links to 1 stalker. ShoWTimE is slow producing units out of the gateways. Meanwhile, big into the sky, we have this thing. Flap, 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 flap. Pew, pew, pew. Dude, the pacing there is crazy. It's from the Twilight Council. See, it's right above it. You need to zoom out to see it, though. It's a bug. It's not a feature. Okay, here we go. This next is gonna get cancelled. We have 2 evos on the way for Shin. Or well, 2 evos that are researching. We have a second robotics facility. ShoWTimE is actually just macroing out of the gateways. It's kind of funny. I haven't seen this a whole lot. Most people just turn them all into warp gates. I think he's still going to need to do that at some point. And I think he'll do that after this one. No, he's just gonna build more Templar. Dude, ShoWTimE is playing this accurate. You love to see it. The problem is that your prisms become really weak. Very, very weak. Fleet beacon comes out. 5th base on the way. It's going to be Hydra Ling Bane here forever. ShoWTimE needs to start sending out some Zealot run-bys, by the way. It's actually going to be kind of important. Is macroing well? Okay, we have the robot that wants to pop an observer out. Lair tech. Now we know what we say about lair tech Zerg. Lair tech means that it's all in time. You can be high eco as a Zerg, but if you're stuck on lair, it means you're never going to kill ground armies if they max out properly on like Archon Storm. These Zealots are trying to run across. We have no Banelings in the mix here, which could be an issue. And they have one. Actually, the Carapace here is helping massively against these Zealots. Like, actually massively. Lots of things are going down. This Baneling attack is now coming in. ShoWTimE is severely out of position. Look at this. How many Banes is that? 49. It's a very large number. Okay, Baneling's now going to run into the Zealots here as well. As ShoWTimE tries to storm. Another Stormer's coming in. Probe staying alive still. So have these Templars. Now they're going to die. As every single Templar ends up falling here. Shin walks in here and says, hello ShoWTimE. This is our first real contact after my failed Link Flood in the early game. And you freaking die. ShoWTimE out of position. And Shin wins game number 1 here on the Ruby Rock. People will look at that and think to themselves, interesting. Most interesting indeed. Old Republic is what we get. Central. Besides being able to warp in at any location with a pylon prism, is there any other advantage to having the warp gate instead of gateways? No. It makes the macro much easier. Or it makes the positioning of your units much easier, at least. So, and you can have more supply in fights, I guess. I think one thing that shouldn't be underestimated, that I kind of underestimated in my games, is one thing that would happen to me frequently if everything was on gateways, is that before fights, you often kind of look at your supply, at least that's what I do, to see if I think I can take a fight. It's like I'm pretty like supply metric based, you know? Like I can look at my army, but I also look at, you know, just what my supply is. And your supply goes up if units are still in your gateways. Well, usually that isn't the case. So usually, like, your math is like, okay, I have a full gateway army, and I have 180 supply. That is, you know, like, I don't know, like 100 supply of army. But now you have 10 gateways. You actually only have freaking 80 army, because there's 20 supply in gateways. And then there's probably also still, like, 10 supply walking towards your army. So you have, like, 30 supply less, which makes it really weird. It makes you misjudge fights very easily. At least that's what it did for me. And it's something that, you know, you'll probably fix over time, but it's something that I struggled with still. Just because something gets fixed over time doesn't mean it's not a problem now, you know? For example, the ozone layer. It was a problem back in the day, but we fixed it. It's now, you know, There's no ozone layer anymore, so we're good. We've taken it out altogether. I don't know what happened with the ozone layer. I think we stopped using hairspray or something. I think there's like a specific thing in like the spray bottles. I don't know. Did we fix? I think we fixed the ozone layer now. I'm pretty sure the ozone layer is not a problem anymore, is it? You guys can tell me. One of you ozone experts in the chat. It's a great history lesson on climate change. Is it CFCs? I remember there was something there, no? I'm pretty sure it was in hairspray. See, this is why hairspray wasn't only pathetic because it looked weird. It's also bad for the ozone layer. You can restore the ozone layer. We can also fix the supply issues of Protoss. That's what I'm saying, you know? But it doesn't mean that the ozone layer wasn't a problem at some point. Fixed it by banning a type of refrigerant. Holes still exist, but recovering. Ozone layer is levying propaganda to destroy capitalism. Ozone layer expert here. So what we did is more capitalism, restored the ozone layer. It's always the right answer. You love to see it. Another big W for the capitalist. Communist in shambles once more. Lenin freaking spinning in his grave because of that. Cannot believe it. That's how they fixed the ozone layer. They should have removed refrigerants. That's what he wrote in Das Kapital after all. I remember reading that passage and being like, this is oddly specific for a problem that doesn't even exist yet. Wait, it's Marx that wrote Das Kapital, no? Not Lenin. I'm sorry. Get my old school Russians mixed up every now and again. It happens to the best. Happens to the best. Okay, if you want history lessons, you go to a StarCraft channel. Are you stupid? Ridiculous. Marx was German? How am I supposed to know these things? Karl. It's not pretty German. You don't have the score added? Oh, sorry, wait. We'll do that quickly. Okay, this is the last time we discuss history here. You guys are making me feel embarrassed about my knowledge. What the hell? You guys are being ridiculous. Das Kapital. The title was a giveaway, wasn't it? The book is in German. The signs were there. Alright. I'm not going to be living this one down. We have a third base that's going to come on the way here. Marx, though. I guess it's not very Russian either. Alright. Second Oracle coming out. Next on the way. Templar Archives. Oh, sorry, Templar Archives Twilight Council. That's what I meant to say. Double Oracle, Warp Gate, Second Gate. Very standard stuff. Really, you close your eyes, you squint a bit. It looks like a pre-patch game, if you ask me. The only difference here is that Shin is building an Evo chamber and most likely is going to go for Carapace upgrade first, which is not really a thing in the pre-patch. So, there's definitely some differences. There's also some similarities. There you go. Double Evo. You think he forgot about his first one? This is kind of attractive, to be honest. This is actually really cool. I do not know what else. I hope he goes into ultras all of this. I feel like Shin is just kind of playing with his food, though. But the food isn't dead yet. And the food is a lion. Because that's what ShoWTimE is. A German lion. Rar. But then with more power. Okay, it's going to be 1-1 upgrades. This is just really uncommon to see. But Shin, he's feeling it. And he has a good work count. He's going to try to not take as much damage now. Loses 1 drone. 2 gateways out. +1 coming out here too. Look at this. You have the Twilight Council thing again. It looks so stupid, no? It's like right above the Twilight. Freaking pumping motion. Dish, 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 dish. surreal. Okay, we're gonna get a Baneling nest here. Lair is late. Very late. 3 drones go down. But that makes sense because the upgrades are first. So in my mind, what you want is low gas. And he is going relatively low gas. He's staying on 4. And then high base count. Lots of links. And then trade, 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 trade. Like in the middle of the map. That should be your goal. And I think ShoWTimE here is kind of falling in the trap of playing the same build more than once. And that's gonna really ruin him. It's Shin busy busting his balls here. This was a bad battle for Shin though. A very bad one. 72 drones. I think Infestation Pit. Yeah. He's gonna rush out Ultras. What if he plays Microbial Shroud with it too? Lingbane Ultra. Huh. What a gamer, no? So usually whenever you see people play Lingbane, they tend to die against Storm Archon pushes. And what you want to do is add in some roaches. The roaches are like an in-between step. They are the in-between step. The Overlord speed. Is that maybe for Baneling drops? Okay, rocks are being taken out. If there's one thing that Shin hates, it's geology. Which is the study of rocks. Invented by Karl Marx, who by the way is German. Oh, here we go. Big's around there on the army. Zealots with +1, but these are 1-1 links. So ShoWTimE looks at this fight. He's going to be a bit confused. It's going to be like, this should have been much better for me. It was still okay, but it could have been perfect. Okay, links are gonna come from the left. Cannon is gonna get targeted. No, not gonna get targeted down. Dude, links are freaking unhinged, no? Four investors as well coming out. 20 banelings as well. Did Marx like e-commerce? Personally, I believe that if Marx had witnessed e-commerce firsthand, he would have become a powerful capitalist. He would have understood that capitalism drives innovation, and innovation drives e-commerce. So, yeah, Marxism would have been absolutely cucked. It would have been one hell of a chapter for him to write in the book on e-commerce. It would have been difficult. He could have been selling SpongeBob socks using drop shipping. I think so too. He does strike me as that type of guy. Alright, it's actually an Ultra Rush. This is kind of weird. So I don't think that ShoWTimE is at all aware of what's happening here. Because I wouldn't be aware of what's happening either. So the way to deal with this is by getting very high amounts of robos. Like triple robo is actually a very good solution to this problem. The army that you're creating as Shin is extremely weak against Immortals. And he's gonna follow it up with a Spire. Okay, I'm gonna say something stupid. I wonder if this is for Muta or for Broodlords. I think it's for Broodlords, but Shin is the type of unhinged person that could look at a situation and say, you know what would be cool? A 35 Muta switch. And I give my Mutas like +2 attack. This is something that Rogue sometimes does as well. Oh, look at this. This is gonna be such a weird fight here. They don't have Adrenal yet, but with the 2-2 upgrades, they're actually quite strong. Look at this. Freaking links killing Zealots. Pre-Adrenal. You don't see that every day. Okay, we have 4 Infestors. Zero Ultras yet, by the way. He doesn't want to invest in Ultras pre-Chitinous, I think. But I think it might be a mistake as well. So right now, Shin needs to come from multiple angles. Oh, he's gonna lose his Infestors. No, he's not. Good Fungal. Another good Fungal. Here comes the flank. Here comes the flank. And there go your Infestors. Prap. All of them go down. Archons are great against links, but these links are 2-2 links. They're not your regular run-of-the-mill links, okay? This is not the girl next door link. Hell no. This is the link that eats your face. and then poops out your bones. Hop! No, baby. Look at that. Complete destruction here. As ShoWTimE now realized what's happening, he's added 2 robotics facilities. He's running a single Immortal across the map. We have a bunch of links just idling over here on the left. They need to join the battle as well. They need to join the fray. And ShoWTimE is in a world of trouble. He might be more than just a world of trouble. He might be dead. GG! Shin puts himself on match point here in the Shopify Rebellion Sunday. Number 3.5. And ShoWTimE is about to lose his crown here. That would be painful. Oh. Losing his crown on the PTR. A lot of Protoss players struggling right now on the PTR due to completely being neutered in every way possible. I don't think many people would have expected this, to be honest. Like the removal of Warp Gate really having a significant impact on a race that relies on it. Make spectator. ShoWTimE struggling for sure. Let's see what Shin can do. Is there a price for this? $150. This is the category A match. You think they're gonna get away with just $100? So we have 3 categories: C, B, and A. C is $50. B is $100. A is $150. You win your category 3 times, you get promoted. You win the A category 3 times, you get the special event. Okay? Those are the rules of engagement, my friends. YoungYakov, by the way, promoted today as he won 3 matches in a row. He beat... Who did he beat, actually? He beat SOS in the first week. Who did he beat in the second week? Ooh, Shin is gonna go for a proxy hatch. That is exciting. Oh, he beat Special. Right. That was a good series as well. It was close. So people play games for $50, but do not play for the same amount. It's because they love competition and they might not like giving coaching. Like, they probably also wouldn't want to give you a massage for $50 an hour because they're not massage therapists. They're competitors. They love competing. So they're willing to do it for a lower price. Like, if a guy sends me a message tomorrow, it's like, Harstem, instead of playing StarCraft the entire day and sitting in your room, I'm going to offer you the same amount of money, but you'll have to dance nude at a garbage, at a garbage truck festival. I'd say I probably won't do it because it's not something I enjoy. But that's just me personally. And you can call me a Marxist for that. But I am not a German, so that would be incorrect. Okay, hatchery goes down here in the natural of ShoWTimE. Zealot comes out. Cybernetics core on the way. Oh, ShoWTimE is getting bamboozled here. Oh, ShoWTimE. This is not allowed, by the way. You're not allowed to build a hatch in someone's natural and then also get your own hatch in your own natural. Like, these are not... This is not how we raise ShoWTimE, okay? This is not how ShoWTimE was raised. I didn't raise him. He raised himself. He was raised by wolves. Just like the... What's the guys that started Rome? Romulus and Remio or something? Remy and Romeus? They were also raised by a wolf, I think. Well, not really, but according to the story. I find it highly unlikely that a wolf would raise humans. Just a super improbable story, if you ask me. That also was the downfall of the Roman Empire, is they believed in this type of garbage. Rather than focus on what's important and providing their people with bread and games. Making up a bunch of whack stories. Okay, these lings are not going to come out, I think. Does ShoWTimE finish this? You know, oh my... No, the cancel is too fast. You need to force a cancel on this. Or... Oh, that's actually really bad for Shin. I think this looks good for ShoWTimE, by the way. Well, does it? His Nexus is really late. He's going to have a fast Stargate. Only has 2 Zealots and 2 Adepts. All of this, by the way, from just a single gate. Here we go. Shades into the main. Whoop. Ooh. If he gets a drone, that would be nice. Cancel. Oh, gets a... No, almost gets a link. Not quite. Another shade into the main. Yep, there we go. Queen comes out. Need to start pounding on that thing instantly. That Holic boost about to finish up in a couple of seconds. I don't know if ShoWTimE is aware of that, though. I'd love to see a recall. Oh, you know what's happening. You know what's happening. You know what's happening. If you see them move out like this, you know what? He's gonna finish the shade. Oh, this is big. This is huge. Oracle's coming out as well. ShoWTimE in a significant lead here in game number 3. Kills 2 workers. Lots of mining time lost. And now ShoWTimE comes in with the real surprise. He says, knock, knock. Shin says, who is there? Blah, lasers. Freaking drone goes down. No Spore in the main base. Needs to pull the drones away. Does that. Lots of mining time here being lost. And at the same time, ShoWTimE in time at plugging the hole in his wall. Look at that. The wall plugger, they call him. Because he's so good at plugging walls. In the Netherlands, we have a story about a kid that puts his finger in the dike. Because there's like a leak. And he saves the village, I think. By putting his finger in there. And I think there's even like a statue of this kid. I don't think it's a real story, but it is pretty cool. Because the Netherlands is below sea level. So we're surrounded by the dikes. And if they have a hole, you have to fix them. In 1953, we had a major disaster where large portions of the Netherlands flooded. More than 2,000 people died. I think something like 9 million animals. And at that point, the Dutch government said, no more will we lose to the water. And we have some of the strongest water defenses in the world. Is that we often, you know, we have a strong industry on fighting, you know, the water as well. Despite it, not really, is water an inanimate object? It's not really an object, I guess. It flows like water. That's what Bruce Lee always said. Inanimate things don't flow. Okay, we're gonna go into a Twilight, another gateway. We have a 3rd base. 4 oracles are out. And 5 queens. I'd rather be on the oracle side, if I'm being real honest. As we're gonna rush out another carapace upgrade. This seems to be kind of Shin's favorite thing to do. Ooh, this is an A move, wasn't it? Gonna go for the kill on the queen, and then starts targeting down drones, and now goes for the spore. It's an odd call here, as the 3rd base is not defended. I don't think ShoWTimE is aware of that. He's gonna peek his head around the corner and see a bunch of drones by themselves. He says, those look vulnerable. And oracles prey on the vulnerable drones. And that's what they did there. 7 drones going down. ShoWTimE in a phenomenal spot. Really. If there's ever been a good spot, ShoWTimE is in one right now. And he's going to... Look at that. He's going to try to get a certified win here by going across the map with 6 gateways. Filled with stalkers. We have a Roach Warren defensively coming out of Shin. The oracles are still here as well. My gripe with this is that in order to make use of those 6 gateways aggressively, you're going to need to turn 6 gateways into warp gates. That is an investment of 600 resources, 300 minerals, 300 gas. Have we carved out enough of a lead here for ourselves to overcome that? Have we? I do not know. What is the answer to that? Back into gases? No. 11 drones. 2 more OVs. 2 more gates. Oh, he's going 8 gate. What do you know, huh? And look at this. This is really bad for Shin. Shin is going defensive roaches, which is the last unit you want against the Stalker. I am expecting a probe with this, by the way. So the downside is that you need to morph your gates into warp gates. The upside is that you can build a pylon and go for fast warp-ins relatively quickly. So that's nice. We're going to get some stasis wards. Infestation pit coming out. I think this is for infestors, by the way, not for hive. I mean, you can also use it for hive, but he's going to mainly use for infestors. Roaches being targeted down. As oracles for now stay alive. Link count not high enough at 14. ShoWTimE with a good early game defense here is definitely in the lead in this game. Pylon is about to finish up as he has 8 gateway production. Well, 2 of these still need to turn. And turn they will. $11 more roaches on the way. Ooh, micro a little bit dodgy. Big, whoa, big lag. This is ShoWTimE, I think. 1, 2, 3.
Game.
Yeah, that's a big lag. Do we re-go from replay here? He lost 3 Stalkers. I say we go back to 9-10. 9-10. 9-11, 9-12. Something like this. I think it's fair. Yeah. 9-13. See? Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, you have to. No, not watch with others. I can't remember what the rule is. Do I have to invite? You can't do one of them. Either you can't invite or you can't lobby link. Okay, I think it is you can't invite. How does it work? Do I just click recover game? Oh, is this new? I can't remember this ever being there, no? I can't hit 9-13. Is this insane? Oh, there we go. I don't remember this being here. This has been added. New. Blizzard. Shout out to them, man. That's a good quality of life update. Ding, 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 ding. Turn, turn, turn. Na, na, na. You don't see Shin every day with a golden... What does this say? With a gold frame? Oh, there you go. Yeah, you don't. But where are my glasses? Yeah, it sucks that we have this crappy overlay now. It is what it is. Alright, here we go. Bit of micro. Well, more than just a bit of micro. Fat micro over here. You can see much better here for ShoWTimE. 26 Stalkers against 16 Roaches and 13 Lings. Stasis Ward's putting in a lot of work. Pylon is pushing forward. Don't forget, you can also add batteries now. That start with 100 energy instantly. As ShoWTimE, with his early game lead here, is going to secure, most likely, a victory in game number 3. And that means that we're going to be heading into game number 4. A lot of people were telling me before this, Harstem, we're not going to get game number 4. Zerg is unbeatable in the patch. We shouldn't do it. Winter Madness. Loop. Do those 3 stalkers dying really matter? Yeah, it does. I also think he took way too much damage on his stuff, which also matters. Wait, did I mess up the overlay? If I leave, do you think they'll leave too? Oh my god, they instant left. I think I might have also messed up the thing. What map was it? My bad. Winter. Central? Central. Surely Shin is ready. Yeah, there you go. It's a bit weird that a master takes on a gold player. Yeah. It was even crazy the gold player is up 2-1. That's a very shocking outcome, I think, for a lot of people. You know what else is shocking for a lot of people? Is the crazy discounts that you can get at Shopify Rebellion.gg. You go over to the store, use code SR Harstem. Like this. Or like this. I think it doesn't matter. 10% discount on all clothes. And what's crazy is that it stacks. No, that's not true. It doesn't stack. Well, it kind of does. If you use 10% on your first clothes, and then you can have another 10% for your next clothes as well. So if you buy 2 t-shirts, you get 2 times 10%. So 10% on each individual item. So it's not that you can just use the 10% on only one item. Infinite items. You can use it. And you can keep using it again and again. You come back tomorrow, it's like, I want more. I did hear that this might be the last week in which we're going to be using the 10% discount. They said, Harstem, we're bleeding money here with these massive discounts that we're giving out. We're going to move it to 9.5% next week. So you better move freaking fast. Because boy, you're going to be paying those 25 cents extra, let me tell you. There's nothing you can do about it. That's not how stacking works. There's just 10% on everything. Look at this guy. Freaking stacking expert. Earlier you said he was an expert on the ozone layer as well. This is the guy that said that Karl Marx was a Russian though, so I'm not sure I would trust anything that he says. Bro, the book is called Das Kapital. It's obviously German. Some of these guys in Twitch chat, let me tell you. I know a lot of you here on YouTube, you don't want to go to the Twitch chat, but yeah, it's crazy. Okay, what do we have here? We have a hatch first. How do we monetize the ozone layer? I don't know quite yet, but I think it probably has something to do with e-commerce. That's all I do know. Okay, get 2 queens out. Yeah, and an adapt. Let's see what our boy ShoWTimE is going to be doing here. I have a feeling that Shin is not going to do any shenanigans anymore. I think there's going to be a shenanigan-free series from here on out. He's going to look at this and think to himself, shenanigans, not today. Non-shenanigans, yes. That's what we're here for. Oh, look at this. Adept into Zealot. One of these rare... It might go into... Oh, Stalker. Look at that. That was a fake Zealot. You won't find me in the scary Twitch chat? Yeah, you shouldn't. The people on Twitch chat actually get less discounts as well on the Shopify Rebellion.gg store. And, well, they'll still get a 10% discount, but we show them higher prices. It's what we call the idiot tax. Very common in e-commerce. Alright, Adept is going to shade into the main base. Metabolic Boost is about to come out. He might do some shenanigans. Very nice, Skillous. That's why you're my favorite player that lost today. Because of these types of puns. We got a Twilight Council out. ShoWTimE. Ooh, this is a Twilight Council though. Look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Twilight Council before a third base. And that also means that we're probably going to go into Glaive Adepts here. And maybe with a probe that's hidden somewhere on the map. How about that, huh? Ooh. Ooh. It's just me, myself, and I. So, listen to this. Nexus, probe to the left. To the far left, even. So far, he might meet marks. ShoWTimE is also a German, so it is possible. Because actually, something cool that you can do is that you can proxy a pylon over here and actually quickly warp in a bunch of adepts. Like, that is a possibility. It is completely possible. And Shin, by the way, he's been playing like a... he's been playing, you know, like a loose guy. A guy that doesn't care about the consequences of his actions. No Roach Warren often. Late bailing Nest. Preferring upgrades over safety. Okay. You wouldn't catch Shin wearing these glasses that protect his eyes. You know, like with the yellow tint in it. You remember when that was a big thing? The gaming glasses? You know, I never pity people very much. Oh, wait, hold that thought. This looks sick. This is a tight... This is a tight timing. 10 adepts at 5 minutes and 53 seconds with Glaive Adepts. This looks quite tight. So he went for 4 warp gate cycles and then 1 warp in. And here we go. He's going to go on the ramp. No, he's moving to the 3rd. Shin is in a world of trouble. He went Ling Hydra. This should be a default loss. If this game is fair, Shin should be dead. Let's take a look. Spores coming in. Or Spores dying. Spores coming in. Glaive Shades coming in. Uh-oh, this is it. This is it for the drones. It was fun living, but now it's time to die. You've been around for 6 minutes. We thank you for your service. We're gonna keep shading. He's gonna get another fat shade into the main, and that's gonna cost Shin a Hydra. Probably 4 or 5 more drones as well. Oi, 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 oi. Oracle going ham, because he sniped the Spore earlier. So the Oracle is gonna get a bunch of kills here too. This is ridiculous. 59 workers to 39. We get a shade back now. And I wonder how Shin is planning on maneuvering out of this. Okay. How is Shin... Oh, Oracle, 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 Oracle. Important. So this Oracle is key right now. This is actually a key unit. Not just for scouting, but also for... No, actually just for scouting. Yeah. Mainly for scouting. Okay, Bailing Nest coming out. Evolution Chamber. Why is Shin allowed to drone back up? Is this how the game works? He's got to go Hydra Link Banal in, isn't he? ShoWTimE is following this up with Stalkers as well. So this is a kind of a like one of these classic 1-2 punches that you often hear about in boxing. But we transpose that terminology into StarCraft, and what do we get? Oh! It's gonna be an adept attack first, and then pure Stalker behind this with 8 gateways. This is a lot of adepts. Holy crap. Maybe it's just more adepts. This is classic ShoWTimE as well. Killing his opponent with adepts, and then killing him again with more adepts. Just doing more of it. If it works, why not? Banelings are being morphed. Ooh, but they're not done yet. And here comes the Shade. Banelings now running in. Let's see if they can get the connections that they want. Oi, 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 oi. This was a successful LinkedIn event for these Banelings. They get a lot of connections. And ShoWTimE is going to be in a bit... Yes. What is this? The Bermuda Triangle? What the hell is this? Why does he have 3 pylons? And why did he warp in at home? He forgot about the pylons, I think. A very weird set of actions here out of ShoWTimE. He's going to shade in. There's no more Banelings remaining, I think. Yeah. 4 new Banes are coming in right now. One of them is over here, so that thing's going to die. Is this what an exorcism looks like? I don't know. I've never had one. Okay, Templar Archives behind this. Charge as well. And we're going to get another... Oh, a Adept Warping. Look at this. This is completely empty. There's no defense here. Oh, if only Shin was aware of that. He would just run in with his links and murder these probes and destroy him. Oh, no, he's not going to finish this up. Let's take a look at the splits here. ShoWTimE, Split King. Split King, ShoWTimE. Oh, it's not bad. Hey, it's not quite up a tree, but it's a decent splits here. It's going to go into the natural right now. 6 drones fall. 7 drones fall. 8 drones fall. Oh, this is the fatal blow here. This is the man with the hammer that shows up. Midway through your marathon attempt. And he blasts you in the face. And Shin right now is meeting him. The man with the hammer. He's an unpleasant fella to meet. Doesn't speak a lot, he just hits you. And he hits hard. Okay, that is his job. His occupation. But also his hobby. And his passion. Things are gonna go fight for this cannon. You know what could happen here? This is a class... What the hell? He's gonna drone up again? Not really, right? The Black Knight always wins. What the hell is this? This is the 3rd time he's gonna try to drone up. This to me feels highly illegal if you're playing Hydraling Bane on an inferior eco, inferior base count. ShoWTimE is gonna go for his 3rd attack. Oh, he has a Zealot Warp in here on the top. He needs to deal with these links, that's the thing. He needs to deal with these links. There's no creep either, which is crazy. Who's playing the man with the hammer? I don't know, follow the money. That's how they got the guys at Watergate, no? I think the conspiracy of the man with the hammer runs a little bit deeper than that. Yeah, we're gonna get a Zealot. I don't know what this is. I was gonna say an attack, but this is more of like an excursion. It's like when you have like a bus with old people and they go visit like an open air museum or something, you know? That's kind of what this looks like. Maybe like old people on e-bikes then, because they're freaking fast, these Zealots. Oh, here we go. Storms on everything. Archons also on everything. Zealots on everything. Zealot run by in the natural. Spore Vault. This is well done by Shin. Holy crap. That was very good foresight. Beautiful stuff. The king of foresight here. The foresight king. That's what they call him. He looks into the future and he sees what's about to happen. That's crazy they still lost the Glaive Adept attack then. If you could just look into the future. Did he forget to take a peek? When the Glaive Adepts were happening. Ay, Shin. Kill this thing. There's no Banelings remaining, by the way. He has 1. Sorry, 4. That's a very low number of Banelings. It's enough to kill a lot of Zealots, though. That's the thing about Banelings. You don't need a lot of them. You just need a couple. Just a couple. Or a couple of couples. Oh, here we go. With the storms. I mean, it should be phenomenal here for a good friend ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE! The people thought that Toss couldn't do it on this patch. But ShoWTimE is no regular Toss. He is Demauer. He is the wall. And what happens when a wall meets a stoppable force? The wall wins. And the wall forces game number 5. That is what happens. Now our final map is going to be 10k. 10,000 feet. Not 1. Not 2. Not 3 or 4. Not 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. Or 9 or 10 or 11 and 12. 13, 14, 15 or 16. Not 18. Wait, I skipped 17. Dang it. Okay, well. 10,000 feet. That's where we're at. The Mauer Sieber. You love to see it. Oh wait, I don't have to say ready. I don't know why I did that. This is a good series though. 2-2. Did I tell you guys once that when I was like 16, we got like one of these commercial letters in the in the mail, and it said like there's a free lottery, free lottery, and you get cool stuff, and all you need to do is show up. So I told my mom, it's like, you're gonna get like a free product. It was like something worth like 60 euros. I remember being 60 euros. That's a lot of money. We should go and get there together. And then both of my parents were like, no, what they're gonna do is they're gonna get you in a room with old people. And then there's gonna be a lottery at the end. But first you'll have like a sales talk for like 3 hours. It's like 1.5 hours. Then you have like a 20-minute break to eat. And then another 1.5 hours. And then they do the lottery at the end. But you're not allowed to participate unless you pay something. I said, no, there's no way. They wouldn't lie to you like that. So then I convinced my mom to come with me and to teach me a lesson. She joined, well, and to, I guess to spend some time with me maybe. We went there together and we got put into this room. And it was like, it was super freaking warm. I'm talking like it was like 27 degrees or something. It's like this room was like super heated. Like it was insane. And it was like filled with old people. Like I think the youngest people that weren't me and my mom were like 85 or something like that. And you had this lady in front that had one of these headsets that they would use when you're talking to like in an aerobics class or something like that. And it was this woman that was maybe 55 and there like 2 massive speakers next to it. And she was just blasting the stuff that they were selling. And she's going like, this blanket is great. A heated blanket. 800 euros. That sounds like a lot, but it's gonna keep you warm. And she's freaking going for like an hour and a half straight. And it was like the hottest room I've ever been in my entire life. And I remember, I looked at my mom and I remember thinking, I can't believe you allowed me to go here when you guys knew that this was happening. This was one of the greatest lessons I've learned in my life, is that my parents were always right. And I remember I left after an hour and a half because I just couldn't stand it. So I never even got to the lottery part. And this is basically, the entire ploy was to scam old people out of their money, like selling them crap that they imported from China for like $5, and then they would sell them at like a 30 times margin or something insane. It is actual garbage. It'd be like a lamp in the form of like an anchor, and you'd pay like 500 euros for it. It's the most insane thing I've ever been to. And this woman also, she continuously was referencing things that all these old people were familiar with. She was like, remember when we used to do bus trips back in the day? Those were epic. I'm gonna bring them back. But first, let's take a look at this blanket for only 350 euros. And all of them were like, yeah, the bus trips. They're like, what the hell are they on about? Nonsense. If these old people knew about Shopify and e-commerce, they would have never gotten scammed like that. This type of stuff wouldn't happen anymore due to Shopify taking over the market. And that is what e-commerce is really for. It drives innovation. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. We have an adept coming out first here. And then probably another adept. Look at that. 2 adepts here. Moving across the map. This is crazy. Stargate comes out. You're gonna get a 3rd pylon here as well. I wonder if ShoWTimE is once again gonna go for an aggressive option or not. Oop. Kill this Ling. Nice, well done. This adept is moving away. So, if I'm ShoWTimE and I'm thinking back of what happened in the previous games, right? What are we thinking of? We're thinking Glaive Adept. We're thinking Stalker attacks with high amounts of gates. These have been successful. However, if you think back of the first game, that first game wasn't unsuccessful until he died. You know? I mean, the dying really was a tipping point, I think, in that game. Where you look at that game and you simulate it maybe 100 extra times. I don't think ShoWTimE dies more than 10% of those games in that exact situation. And his spot was actually quite good. He had high supply, he had a good army. He'd set himself up for success, okay? He made all the right moves. And then he just got scammed. Just like these old people. But instead of buying a crappy electric blanket, he was out of position and all of his Templar died to the 49 Banelings that Shin had. Just good to remember, you know? Ooh. Shin is going to get full info here, by the way. This is a big deal. Actually, a very big deal. Because he sees the forge, so you immediately know what the hell's going on. Still kind of chrono on the blink. I think this is weak. Like, I think it's a mistake. His oracles haven't dealt a lot of damage. 0 damage even. Need to go back home to deal with these links. I think he'd go for the pylon here, no? Ooh, probes. Well done. Okay, come on, ShoWTimE. So, the reason why I'm surprised to see a chrono on blink is because your Stalker attack is going to be weak sauce, in my opinion. So, what's the point? Like, another chrono on blink. Huh? I think ShoWTimE has some weird build here. He's gonna walk across the map, I think, with 9 Stalkers. Hydra then gets scouted. Unfortunate. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. These guys are in trouble. These guys are... There's an Oracle nearby, though. He needs to help them out. There you go. A couple of links do end up falling. What the hell is Shin doing? Hydra Ling of 60 workers. 5 gas. You know that the guy who funds these tournaments, Mr. Shopify himself, Mr. Shopify Rebellion himself, TLO, he used to love this build. 5 gas Hydra all in. Oh, here we go. Got a good attack. To cool back. Stasis triggers. Another stasis triggers. Yikers. Links go for the pylons. Zealots are being sent out as well. This is really weird. If ShoWTimE doesn't die, which I'm not saying it's likely, but it's possible that he doesn't die and that he survives, he's going to be in a really good spot. Because he's up 10 workers. That is crazy. And thanks for the sub on your own. Shout out to you, buddy. This is just an all-in. With all the marbles on the line. Shin does what Shin does best. Oh, look at that. Scouts nothing here. We have 2 cannons on the way. 2 more cannons on the way. We have a cannon in the main as well, so even a temporary drop is not going to work. Templar coming out here too. Oh, weird blink forward ShoWTimE. We don't want to do that at all. Oh, and here comes the flank. Here comes the flank. We have 2 cannons out. We have a decent amount of stalkers. We have a battery. Archon is going to finish up, I think, which could help temporarily. Oh, but Shin, he's knocking on the door already. 7 stalkers are being produced. And I think this is going to be it for us today, my dear friends. What a terrible, terrible ending here for our good friend ShoWTimE. As Shin wins the series with a 3-2 score. Phenomenal. Really phenomenal. This is StarCraft 2. And what a strategy there to end it with. A Hydralisk Ling-All-In. Hydralisk Ling-All-In. Crazy. Alright. Well, it's been a pleasure and an honor casting for all of you, but the 3 hours are up. And sadly, that also means that it's the ending of the Shopify Rebellion Sunday. I know you guys looked forward to this all week, and you probably wanted this to last for hours. Weeks. Days. But it just lasts for how long the series lasts. So, I think that's going to be it for me. Now, if you did enjoy it, and you think to yourself, Harstem, I want to support this. Is it lottery time? You know, for the anniversary edition, I might give away some memorabilia. Okay? Let's see what I have. Only for the anniversary edition. I have a capo that has the word capo on it. It has been used, but that just makes it more valuable. Prince used this one, actually, in his famous Super Bowl. Picks. 4 of them. Made by Alice. I don't know her personally, but different sizes. Hey Harstem, I was going to spend $100 today on e-commerce, but you made me play on PTR. Makes me very sad. Why would you rob yourself, though, of the experience of spending money on e-commerce? If you're already sad that you played on PTR, if anything, you should actually spend that $100 that you didn't win on e-commerce. I think that is the only logical thing that you can do. All right, that's actually going to be it for me today, my dear friends. We're done. And I know what you're thinking, Harstem. How the hell am I going to survive until next week? Because you only stream once a week, Harstem. I'm promising a second stream. On Friday. Maybe Friday. I'm not promising a date yet. But a second stream. Twitch exclusive. Okay? It's going to be crazy. And for the people that will miss it, the unannounced stream, be sure to check out next week, Shopify Rebellion Sundays. It's going to be epic. It's going to be sick. I'll be there. YoungYakov will be Category B versus Percival. We're going to have 2 new players in Category C. And we're going to have Shin taking on... Clem? Shin Clem. How does that sound? Shin Clem. There we go. All right. I love you all. Bye-bye.